us hide. My faith is dead, I need a resurrection somehow. No, I'm lost in your freedom. And this world I'll overcome. My God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. Let heaven roar and fire fall. Come shake the ground with the sound of revival. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. God's not dead, he's surely alive. He's living on the inside, roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion. He's roaring like a lion.
God's not dead.
Let love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to see a revolution somehow. Let love explode and bring the dead to life. A love so bold to bring a
At break of day, in hope we rise, we speak your name.
Good morning and welcome to the King's Report this Friday, July 28th, 2017, 8th year of Chungi, 6 months, 6th day with a calendar. I'm your host, Sean Sean Moon, second king of Chungi. Let's first start with our AccuWeather forecast with Tim, the Agent Elder. Tim.
Good morning. There's dense fog in the Cheonryugung area this morning. In fact,
Oh, is
the
there?
National Weather Service has issued a special weather statement on that fog.
Really?
It's in the Delaware Valley mostly. If you come over the mountains
Oh,
into
okay,
the valley,
okay.
yeah, because of the river.
That will clear up as it
Yeah, it will.
the sun comes up. Yeah.
And the morning, the weather should be fairly nice with partly cloudy skies. But as we go towards the afternoon, there are going to be more and more clouds, and then possibly in the late afternoon, possibly rain, but definitely this evening, tonight, rain.
More rain.
Tomorrow morning, rain.
It's rain, 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 rain every day this week. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but nice. Sunday will be nice. Sunday will be 80 degrees and nice. Today it's going to be 81. and humid and cloudy, but Sunday will be 80 and nice.
It's rain, rain, go away, come again another day.
Well, this is the other day.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to be working on the chozobachi today.
Okay.
Finally, I've only gone about 2 inches down to that stone. It's a lot of work to get into that stone, but couldn't work on it yesterday. Right after international meeting, we had training and all that kind of stuff, so no time to work on it yesterday. So I'm going to have to work on it this morning. I have to get down probably about, I'm thinking 5 to 6 inches into that stone, which is quite a bit. That's quite a bit. But as we go down, hopefully, because it's tapering down, and I can't just, you're not going straight in. And it's tapering down, hopefully it's, we're removing more and more material. And hopefully we have a nice, very natural piece as we complete that. But it is really artisan work. This is like, you really appreciate how those ancient people did it with chisels. How did they do it with chisels? I mean, oh man, one wrong hit and you're gonna chip off the whole thing. Oh my gosh, how do they do it with chisels? I mean, Lowell here, he was helping me the other day. But man, we were reflecting on how in the world do they do the chisel? It's like ridiculous how to make everything smooth. Like the Michelangelo statue of David. I mean, how do they get that so smooth, like his muscles and all that? It is ridiculous, and they had no like angle grinder. You know what I mean? How in the world did they? Maybe they just chip down the lines and then chip really, really slow. But basically, compared to that type of work, man, we're moving super fast. And thank God for technology. This is amazing because like this angle grinder has this blade on it, which is like this thick, blunt blade with just some V cuts in it. And it just has a diamond edge, and it can actually burn through stone. Think about that. That's amazing. So technology is amazing. It's just that we have to stay in control of technology. We must not let technology become artificially intelligent and then be able to destroy us, which it will. Because once it has intelligence and is able to compute and decide for itself what it will do, and then we arm it with weaponry, it will decide to make human beings obsolete and to destroy them. But that's an open plan by the military of the U.S. By 2025, they want to replace soldiers with robots and drones. Because soldiers don't listen to every order. So very, very shocking reality that's happening in the world today. But we'll get more on that later in the broadcast. Let's go to our Rima today. We are in Micah 6, and we are in the punishment of Israel's injustice. The Lord's voice cries to the city, wisdom shall see your name. Hear the rod who has appointed it, and there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked. And the short measure that is an abomination shall account pure those with the wicked scales, and with the bag of deceitful weights. For rich men are full of violence, and her inhabitants have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. Wow. Now, we know that America was blessed by God to be the Rome of the modern world, to receive the Lord's Second Advent and the OSDP and the DP. And it really plays. Father sometimes referred to America, of course, as a Rome. He also referred to it as a third Israel, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so we see that those in places of power, which is of course Washington, which Father always was trying to smash on to make sure these politicians would follow God and the spirit of sovereignty, the spirit of God. But what happened? They become wicked, deceitful. Look at this. It says, they count pure those with wicked scales. Those are like weighing scales with a bag of deceitful weights. They're fake playing justice. They're fake playing justice. And her inhabitants have spoken lies, and their tongues deceitful in their mouth. And it's interesting because the American government is supposed to be the most just on earth. It's supposed to abide by the Constitution. And of course, everybody's favorite topic, sanctuary, Lourdes and Jamal. On the microcosm, we have Lourdes and Jamal.
Apparently it's been discussed worldwide. Not sure how micro it is now.
It's still worldwide inside, you know.
Okay.
It's not like on the national level or something.
We haven't made CNN yet.
Yes. But actually, this is a very good, Kukjang was mentioning, of course, and that this is a good opportunity to actually practice jurisprudence in the church jurisprudence, in the image of the Chinese Constitution. And of course, I heard there is some document that's being prepared. I don't think it was a final document, right? Anyways, it was, so both parties will have to sign that. And that final document, which I haven't seen yet, I just saw it yesterday on Greg's computer just briefly. But I told Greg and that Jim, who's preparing that document, should have a statement that says this is church jurisprudence, or something along the lines of this is church governance or church jurisprudence, or anyway, he can phrase it how he wants. The point is, this is jurisprudence in the image of the Chinese Constitution. Tim was making the proper point that you can't say this is the Chanilgu Constitution or a case under the Chanilgu Constitution, because Chanilgu Constitution will represent an actual sovereign nation, okay, with a Senate, with a Congress, with a president, a duly elected president, with, etc. You name it, okay, it has it all. And that is not here yet, as the Chanilgu Constitution states. It is not here yet. Now, that doesn't prohibit people making nonprofit organizations or businesses or just dealing with their local ministry or whatever in the symbol or in the spirit of the Chanilgu Constitution, okay? So that's, of course, what will happen. And this is good because this will also show or be a showcase of jurisprudence within the church, which was never really developed. Of course, Family Front has absolutely zero jurisprudence. Their super elites are wicked, and they're total deceivers, usurpers, liars, and they just cover up for it. They pretend as if, we want to protect whistleblowers. This was the whole thing when Injuna scandal thing broke out. We want to protect whistleblowers and whistleblowers. And this is what Balcom was saying. We want to protect whistleblowers. And then he becomes one who covers up whistleblowers after he gets in office. Of course, he's now been fired by Richard the Balcom Slayer Panzer. Made such a fool of these idiots that the Balcom idiot, Balcom powder, has been fired and sent to Siberia and Europe, where he belongs. But there is justice, and was it Jenkins is now fired from all his positions in a airplane looking glum, and now he's just a caregiver of Stallings. Oh my gosh, these people, see, deceit doesn't pay off, you bums. Deceit does not pay off. Colluding with evil doesn't pay off. You end up being a loser. You end up losing everything. They end up throwing you under the bus when you thought you could gain riches and wealth by colluding with evil, which is clearly evil and clearly usurpation and clearly redacting and erasing the Lord of the Second Advent, which you are all claiming you are protecting and believing, which you don't. Because all you do is protect a hierarchy that is destroying the Lord of Second Advent and has rejected his own appointed successor. Give me a break. You people are pathetic. Anyways, the point is that this is a very good example because it shows that only sanctuary is developing real jurisprudence for people when they have a complaint against public officials or when they have a public conflict. How do you deal with that? and that we will we do not neglect due process. That people, when they file complaints, we will approach it with due process. It will not just be a king just making some order. Both cases will be able to present their sides, etc. And although it's emotionally taxing on Jamal and Lourdes, in the long run, this is good. It's a good exercise in exercising church governance and showing a model for church governance in the symbol of, in the spirit of, in the nature. It is not the Chanigu Constitution, a case under the actual Chanigu Constitution, because that would require an actual state with actual Congress and an actual Senate and an actual duly elected president, etc., etc., and an actual general inspector who is inspecting the Senate and Congress and president, and an actual, sovereign, kingship, which can appoint the Secret Service for the president, etc. All these kind of things which are outlined and delineated in the Constitution. And I came into the office yesterday while they're having the meeting, and Tim was really, passionately and strongly mentioning, this is not the Constitution, etc. I don't know what the heck was going on. But then when I listened to the whole debate, and I said, oh, of course, no, he's right. You can't say this case is under the Chanigu Constitution, because the Chanigu Constitution represents an actual sovereign state, again, with the Senate, Congress, president, duly elected president, etc. But this case can exist under the governance of church governance, in the symbol or image or spirit of the Chanigu Constitution. And so those corrections need to be made on those documents that have been prepared for both parties to sign. So Jim Bor, if you're watching, please make those corrections. And if he's not watching, Greg said yesterday he will talk to Jim Bor. Okay, but this is a very good exercise for a whole community, actually for the world as well, because we know this is the microcosm, and the macrocosm is affected by these things. So God is giving an opportunity through a painful situation. Still, God provides an opportunity for us to respect due process, to understand how God is working here, and allow the microcosm to give a blessing to the macrocosm. We'll be right back after the short break. Stay with us on the King's Report.
I'm alive because he lives. Amen. Amen. Let my soul join the world that never ends.
Hi guys, I'm down here at the range today. I just learned a new technique from the father of the .44 Magnum, Elmer Keith, which is called shooting out of the notch, which allows you to make really long distance shots and still have an extremely precise sight picture. So I brought my CW9 car down, and with this little gun, we're gonna shoot this little munchkin at 200 yards up in the hills, applying this technique, and hopefully we'll make the shot. To apply this technique, instead of using the blade of the front sight lined up with the top of the rear sight, I'm going to take the dot of the front sight and raise it up so that it's out of the notch, but I'm still going to keep the front sight on my target. Bringing that front sight up like that is going to compensate for the bullet drop over that excessively long distance with just this little gun. So if applied right, we should be making contact. Let's see how it goes. I saw this shot, so I'm a little bit out of breath because you gotta run to make sure that is what I thought it was, and it was. So while making this shot, from that distance with these white dot sights, it literally would cover the entire target. You couldn't see what you were shooting. So using the Elmer Keith technique, you were able to raise it out of the back notch. I can't breathe. Out of the back notch, allowing you to keep your accuracy, aim, and also still see the target, which is key because it was a hard shot, not gonna lie. But yeah, it went great, and Elmer knows what he's talking about. And for such a small gun to be able to take that hit, I'm very impressed with this. All right, guys, be sure to like and share, and I'll see you out on the range.
That was awesome. Hey, can I try that one? Yeah, let's do it with the 380. Does everybody have eyes and ears?
At break of day, in hope we rise, we speak your name.
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this Friday, July 28th, 2017. I'm your host, Hongji Sean Moon, second king of Cheongguk. And although sometimes I do rant and get emotional on the broadcast, I'm actually a quite calm person and quite reserved. Tim knows that.
Yes,
right?
I know that.
I'm actually
Yes,
quite.
I'll attest to that.
Anybody who does martial art training under me also knows. But I will have to use emotion and energy sometimes to push these these boys and girls to get to a higher level and get pushed out of laziness if they're lazy. But yes, this whole case will be a very good blessing in the long run. It'll also be a good blessing and will allow for a closure to happen, because once the ruling is made, through due process, and probably at some point a jury, and we have appointed a judge, the person who loses may appeal, but then I don't have to hear the appeal. So after the decision is made, it will be a public decision. It will be done with, and all the bitching and complaining and all this, wackiness that's happening with Jamal and the Lourdes situation will be able to come to closure, and they'll have to digest it as mature adults. And even though they both have immature elements in themselves, and they are not perfect, both of them are not perfect, at least there will be some closure to it, and they can, as mature people in not only under Father's authority, but those who protected Father's authority from the very beginning, and patriots from the very beginning, they will be able to respect that and move on with their various work and ministries. Okay, and hopefully they both grow from this particular situation. All right. So that is the microcosmic element that's going in. Now we will have Jamal join us on the 7 o'clock hour, not to discuss this case. Okay, that's a separate issue. To discuss maybe with Gideon, and Shigeru will also join us today, because the young people have returned from their epic journey down south to Florida, and they have traveled by car on an epic north-south journey to unlock their epidemics. There's a whole bunch of King's challenges that they had to accomplish in order to receive the certificate of passing the challenges. And I just heard it briefly from my boy Shinpai, who was also on the trip as well, Heard that it was an absolutely epic and legendary time. I want to hear a little bit about how the kids fought with each other and were petty, and how they bitched and complained about each other, and how they were jealous of each other, and all this kind of stuff, which they don't tell me about. Which they try to pretend nothing happened. But I know we understand human dynamics, and we understand people are petty, and we understand people want to nitpick and fight with each other, and bitch and complain about each other, etc. And it's important to admit that. It's important to admit that even adults who gather together in community, church community, doesn't matter. People are petty. People are vain. People are self-centered. That's why we need Christ, folks. That's why we need Christ, because all of us, imperfect in our imperfection, in our wallowing in our self-pity, in our narcissistic, self-absorbed, state, create hell on earth. Without Christ and without the example of the Father, we're just wandering in a mire of self-centeredness, or how do I say, self-interest, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, self-interest can stimulate us to be driven to accomplish things, and to accomplish, and win trophies or win in business, or things like that. But it cannot just stay in the realm of self-interest. Does that make sense? It can't just stay in the realm of self-interest. At some point, one has to transcend self-interest and go beyond self-interest, because at some point you're going to be working with a group. You're going to have a team. You're going to have staff. And at some point, your interest has to go beyond yourself and extend at least to your staff. You see what I'm saying? At least it's got to extend there. And then hopefully extend beyond that to include your community, etc. And then so and if you're, of course, in the free market, providing, goods and services to people, you have to think about your clients. You have to think about your patrons. You have to think about the people who support you, your ministry, your business, your service. That doesn't mean you have to be a slave to them, or that you have to bend God's word to fit everybody's likes and dislikes. I mean, there's people who love it when I will reprimand women. There are people that are real against it when I reprimand women. But then they have no problem when I reprimand men. See, so there's always hypocrisy both on the women's and man's side. There are, men who are manipulative, who want to use, this or that. There are women who are manipulative, who want to use this or that, okay? That's the nature of human beings. We have to understand that. So as the king and as True Father's representative and here, I don't condemn somebody because they're in some petty squabble, or they're in some ego battle, or they're in some thing where they're trying to self-victimize themselves and pretend they're a victim all the time. I understand that as human nature, as fallen, as unperfected human nature, okay? And yes, we are called to be perfect as our God is perfect, but we can't do it on our own strength. This is the thing, and this is why repentance is so important. This is why understanding you're not perfect is a problem. As a community, understanding we're not perfect, that we're sinners saved by grace is so important. Because we can get off on self-righteous crusades where we are attacking this or that, or we're fighting with this or that person. We can become self-absorbed. And so it's important. That's why Christian ethics, Christian value, Christian community always reminds us that we are sinners saved by grace. That we may feel we are completely self-righteous, but we are not. We are not righteous in our own righteousness. We are made righteous by the Spirit of God, by God's sacrifice for us. We are made perfect by God's perfection, by the Son's perfection. Okay, that means by Christ's perfection, by his complete obedience, by his complete sacrifice, by giving his life for the sake of sinners as us, okay? So this is a very important context and cultural core which allows us, even though there's petty squabbles, and this not only happens in America between Jamal and Lourdes, that's just the most glaring example, but that happens all throughout the organization. Okay, even in other ministries that are connected to us, right? In Korea and Japan, this has happened with Eddie Kawara-san has had to deal with this as the leader there. Reverend Lee in Korea has to deal with this as a leader there, okay? Christian has to deal with this as a leader in Europe, okay? So everybody has to deal with this, but the leaders have to stay in the position above that. And of course, we must not get sucked in and embroiled into the petty squabbles and see it with a fatherly heart, a parental heart, understand that it's okay when siblings disagree and they debate, and they said obviously they can't get violent and stuff like that, but they seek, people in disagreement seek justice and seek jurisprudence, because that's the nature of ourselves seeking, yearning for truth and also closure. All right, so this is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but it is an important thing. And of course, we understand that people can get emotional about it and can feel this or that things about it, but really that's irrelevant. The point is, God can use these kind of things in the early history of the three kingships, and those who protect Father's legacy. Okay, this will be looked back on history as a lesson of how jurisprudence was done in line, in the image of the Cheongguk Constitution, and will be a good case study to look at in the future for future ministries, and also the future kings of Cheongguk, who will also be the head of the ecclesiastical church, namely the sanctuary church in the future. We'll also have to look at this and as precedents. Okay, so this creates historical precedent. This becomes an important lesson. Okay, and even Kuk Chung made that point yesterday, that in the long run he believes also that it is a good lesson of history and a good case to look at. Okay, so we must look at it with a larger perspective, and we must look at it with a rational and calm mind, and be able to see that even though there's a lot of emotionalism and a lot of ranting going on about it, and a lot of people crying about it, instead of this or that, that's really irrelevant. In the long run, this is a positive, because it shows that the orthodoxy, the true people that follow true Father, are the only ones that are in line with the nature of not only Peace Believe People Militia, but how Father talked about Cheongguk and how the Cheongguk Constitution has been released, and how we're actually implementing church governance to resemble the government structure, the governmental constitutional structure of Cheongguk, the future kingdom that is coming to this world. Okay, so it does prove to be a very important historical point, and so I don't want people to get emotional about it, and don't try to say, oh, it was so terrible, and don't victimize and don't cry. Crying doesn't help. This is important for us as a community and for history to see, to go through. Very important. And God is using both the Patriot Lourdes and Patriot Jamal in all their imperfections and all their unrighteousness and all their subtleties and flaws. God is using them in His grace as an example for us to practice being in the image of the Cheongguk Constitution as church governance. And of course, future generations to be given the actual case to look and dwell upon. Okay? So people who are on this or that side, you gotta not get too emotional about it. That's immaturity. Don't get too emotional about it. Understand that both Lourdes and Jamal, although imperfect, did a courageous thing at the early stage to defend True Father and to patriotically defend and protect True Father's legacy, his appointed heir, successor, and representative body, the second king and third king, and to stand up for the nation and kingdom, future of Cheonil-gu. Okay? So everybody who has been sucked into this by one way or another, you must remain unemotional. Doesn't mean you can't have emotions, but don't let those emotions control you and cloud your vision. Don't be children, don't be immature. Don't be in the mire and fog of emotionalism, but understand the larger context and how God can use us as a blessing for you and your future descendants. All right, we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us on the King's Report.
$6.58. $6.14. $6.46. Time 471. Hello folks, I'm Justin Moon, the president of Carr Firearms Group, and today I've got the PM40 with True Glow night sights, and look at that, Magna porting. Look at that porting on that. This is our standard PM40 with the day sights, but now this model with the Magna porting and the True Glow night sights. What a difference. The 40 caliber PMs have a reputation for being quite a bit of a kicker. They do kick a lot. And so we put the Magna porting on these PM40s, and boy, what a difference does that make. It really makes this PM40 shoot a lot softer, reduces the muzzle flip, the recoil comes straight back into you, and becomes a very manageable pistol.
Carr Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Carr Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Carr Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Carr Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Carr Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit carr.com today.
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this Friday, July 20th, 2017. I am your host, Hongdian Sean Moon, the second king of Cheongguk, drinking a wonderful coffee in my King's Report. Look at that, the King's Report beautiful royal mug with Peace Police, Peace Militia logo emblazoned on the front. Pick up your mug today and support the broadcast. Okay, girl, get up, move. Now look at this wonderful birthday present. Now this is a very early birthday present that my brother Kook Jin got for me, and this is the PM40, folks. Look at that. Now, of course, you see it is checked. Look down the barrel. There's nothing there. Okay, so it is cleared. Let's not point at Tim here. And of course, as you can see, PM40 here, and this is the mini version. Okay, this is the premium version. This is the premium line. So if you look closely, you can see on the slide here, very well milled, super smooth. It's like silky smooth. It's super smooth on the milling lines. You know, of course, the CT lines are more sharper edged. They do a faster mill, so they can bring down the price. But this is a premium line. This is a premium. You can see PM40 right here. Okay, and this is the premium model. Wow, with is that Trijicon night sights? Anyways, the big dot night sights. And just very beautiful. Now this is the compact version of my 40. Look how small that is. Look how small that grip is, okay? And you can see here, I only can get 2 fingers on here. So it's the pinky flies. But of course I've shot this and it's very controllable. It's not a big deal for me. I mean, 40s for me are controllable. And of course, me being in the wild a lot, I'm able to use buffalo boar rounds to actually penetrate big bears and moose and everything. So the 40 has enough firepower to both stop predators and or dangerous animals, human or animal. Okay, and you can see here it is a smaller, more compact version. That's quite tiny, isn't that? That's quite tiny. Look at that. Look how tiny that pistol is. And this can just pop right into a pocket. Okay, you can see this is the slide. You know, so I haven't yet painted yet. Of course, you know I'm going to paint. You know I'm going to put some koi fish on that. But I may keep this as just a black gun. Maybe I'll do the black slide with some beautiful koi on top and some cherry blossom to match my other guns and my samurai swords. And maybe I'll just keep the polymer frame black, Tim. Maybe I won't paint that a camo color, and maybe I'll keep this black and have this black here, the black slide, with some beautiful cute koi swimming. Maybe I'll put a hiutsuri koi on, which is an orange and black stripe one that looks kind of like a tiger stripe. The traditional Japanese koi are like the white and the red, which symbolizes their flag. But actually, the Cheongguk Pond, the person that we got the fish from, he just loved orange fish for some reason, and we have some incredibly high quality hiutsuri koi in there, which is orange and black stripe, very bright orange, I mean very dark, rich orange with beautiful stripes. Go to my Facebook page and check out some of the beautiful koi pictures I put up while I was feeding them yesterday. First time I shot them with camera this close with the feeding. But actually, I actually like the fact there's a lot of tigers in there, because tiger is a symbol of the animal symbol of Korea, actually.
That's right.
Okay, so for Cheongguk and the Kingdom of Cheongguk, you know, of course, I love the kohakus. I love the white and the reds. They're very cute, and the sanke is the white, red, and the blacks, which are the traditional koi. But just by, you know, Father finding these fish for us, we actually have a lot of orange and black, and that actually symbolizes the tiger nature of Korea, the tiger as the symbolic animal of Korea, and also Lord Second Advent coming from the tiger nation. Go ahead, pass those beautiful pictures. Oh, look at that. Oh, don't go so fast. Don't go so fast. See that beautiful whitefish? He's called the ogon, and he's a beautiful whitefish. That guy has a very interesting nose. He's a very, he's kind of like the ugly duckling of the fish, but that's why I like him. He's a totally white fish, but he's got an incredible fun little nose that curls down like pyong. And it's so cute. He's so super cutie. And look at those little whiskers. He's such a cutie. And this guy, he loves his daddy. He always comes to me and he wants to eat. And all these little babies are like little babies to me now. They're like, Daddy, feed me. That's so cute. Okay, go next, please. Oh, wow. That is a Kindu, which means metallic, and silver metallic. And he's a very beautiful fish as well. Go ahead, go to the next one. Ah, there's our sanke. See, you can see a beautiful sanke. That is a traditional Japanese colors. These are the sort of the core of koi. It's the white and the red and the black, or the white and the red, or the white, black and red with more black. That's called a showa. Okay. But go ahead. Hey, there you see a hiutsuri, or a orange and black striped tiger style koi, which is more the Korean. It evokes the Korean tiger. Okay, the Asian mysterious tiger. Okay, go ahead. That is a sanke. It looks like a kohaku, but it's a sanke. He has a little black on his scales. That's a beautiful fish. There you go. Next. Whoa, there you go. Here's our ogon. There's a kinyu. You see a lot of orange fish in there. And you can see the deeper orange ones with the black stripes there, the really high quality orange ones. Some of those hiutsuri, just if you try to buy them at 12 inches long, 16 inches long, you're going to be paying $600 to $1,000.
That's right.
For koi like that. And so God had set us up. So this man was trying to get rid of all these koi because he was basically getting rid of his pond. He was older, he was retired, and he wanted to get rid of his pond. And my God, Father found this man for us. And he gave us these incredible 2 feet long, 8 to 10 pound fish. I mean, they would cost us literally, $2,000 for one fish. But my God, and he gave us $40 for one fish. And the Korean church and Japanese church graciously donated them to the Cheongguk Palace. And were able to stock us with these beautiful fish here. Those are the 2 sanke that we have. They're the very Japanese style looking fish. They're also very beautiful. We don't hate them. They're beautiful. And I'm so curious to see how the babies will turn out. And we have now hundreds of babies in there probably. I'm so curious. I'm so excited to see all the babies, Tim. We have so much fertility power in the Cheongguk.
Yeah, absolute sex.
Absolute sex. Power. Look at that beautiful, very dramatic, mystical picture with them in these smoky waters.
I thought the fish were fighting with each other for a while, but turns out...
Go ahead, keep going. Do I have more pictures of that?
Turns out
Is that all the koi picture? That's it? Oh, is that all I put up? Anyways, you can see a lot of the orange guys. But very, very beautiful. Oh, okay, those are the ones I put. I had more pictures than I didn't put up all the pictures. All right. Anyways, that is your update. But thank you, Kuk Chung, for your wonderful, beautiful gift. This small, compact firepower, and fire-bending power. I will put my own artistic expression and nature on it, honoring Father and his love for aquatic animals, especially fish. I really feel, when I paint these pictures of koi, and the more I fall in love with these fish, it makes me fall in love with fish in general. Isn't that interesting? I've never been a big fisherman, as you know. Everybody who knows me knows I've never been a huge fisherman. But as I embrace this culture that Father loved, which was fish, and now I have to raise fish and stuff like that, I am really starting to fall in love with fish. Really starting to have an ownership mentality of fish. At some point we have to harvest some of these koi and actually taste one, because I've heard that koi tastes like crab meat. Is absolutely phenomenal. And that is a good exercise of sovereignty. At least I was like, I can't harvest them. They're like little puppy dogs. I said, just close your eyes and we'll do it.
Just don't name them.
We'll have the boys do it. All right. But at some point we'll have to have a nice koi fish fry.
Yes.
And learn how to debone the fish, because I've heard that the koi actually taste like crab meat. All right, which would be a tremendous thing. So we do have to respect and maintain our sovereignty over the animal kingdom, and never fall to be slaves and worshippers of the animal kingdom, which PETA and these kind of, animal activists become. They become worshippers of animals. And they go so far as they actually want to infringe on human rights so as to protect animal rights. You see what I'm saying? But in Chanigok human rights, human beings, of course, in God's picture, is the apex of God's creation.
Yes.
And we are to responsibly and have sovereignty over creation, which means that we have the power to kill and take life, but we must do it in balance with the ecosystem and balance with the nature of the world. Mm-hmm. And what these people don't understand is that animal predation is an essential part of any ecosystem. I've been watching these vegan activists who go around and they try to challenge people on the street in the UK and stuff like that with veganism and say that's the way. They're just on this moral crusade. But they really, of course, most of them are atheists or agnostic because you have to be to basically, you want to create more laws for human beings and want to actually support centralized government to rule over human beings so as to protect the animals, but then you end up not protecting human beings and you create a hellhole for human beings, literally creating a state, helping the collusion of a state grow to the point where it becomes totalitarian. So again, they may be well-minded, but they're naive, and many times they're young dumbbloods who are just don't understand the larger picture of no. If you collude with government, and if you try to use the force of government to enforce these laws, which you want to do, and just your personal preference to be vegetarian, vegan, that's not illegal in Chaniguk. But if you try to grow government or to make government regulation to mandate what you want on everybody, you end up becoming a tyrant and you end up becoming satanic, which is the reason why a lot of these vegans are not Christ-centered. They are pagans, they are into Buddhism, yoga, etc., Hinduism, etc., because they see that as an alternative reality. And those things are not illegal in Chaniguk, but you cannot use those things to collude with the state to take away human rights, because human beings are the apex, okay? So this is a very important thing, and human beings, of course, it's been statistically shown that when human beings can own animals, they end up protecting animals, such as the case in, what was it, Nigeria and Congo, was it? Nigeria?
Zaire, I think, and Kenya, is it?
I mentioned it in previous sermons. I can't remember the two African states. But there's two states, one which made it illegal to own the African gray elephant.
Elephants, yeah. Because
it is an endangered species. And what happened? The government was, quote, protecting them. What happened to the numbers in that country? The numbers precipitously dropped. The African gray elephant in that country became closer to extinction. Whereas another country said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to allow private ownership of animals. We're going to allow human beings to own the African gray elephant, which is an endangered species, in which a lot of these green lunatics, who want to centralize power and support a communist system of governance, which is ridiculous. Which they were saying, oh, you're going to destroy it the African gray elephant will go extinct if you allow private ownership. Guess what? When they allow private ownership, the African gray elephant population increased. Why? Because now you have people, Africans, who own this as property. And now they're going to protect that property with their lives. They're not just going to let poachers take them. They're going to protect those elephants with their lives, and they're going to help them reproduce and help make sure that they're checked up. They're the most healthy for reproduction, and they want to increase the product, increase the yield of that asset. Okay? And what happens? In the end, it creates a net positive for even the endangered species nuts, because it prevents that species from going in danger. So what's the solution? To stop the Bengali tiger from being extinct, allow private ownership, allow human beings to be the owners that they are. What is the solution for endangered species? Allow people to own them. Those species will not go out of extinction. See, science seems counterintuitive because you have all these liberal lunatics and these green nutties saying, oh, they'll abuse them. They'll abuse them and abuse them. Well, even if you don't allow human ownership, who abuses the most? It's the government that abuses the most. In fact, lets them get killed off. So what you're fighting for is the opposite. You're fighting against human ownership of it because you don't want the animals to abuse, but you trust the government to protect them, and then they get killed off. You see what I'm saying? So you've just now fallen into the trap of the archangel. You become, just like the feminist movement, you've been a tool for the socialists and communists and the political Satanists because they're sucking you in with your naive desire to want to protect things, which is not bad, but it's naive, and you end up trusting an archangel, which will not do what it promises you, but will actually create the opposite effect of killing off even more of these, having these animals even more poached, even more hunted illegally, even more traded on the ivory market, even more killed illegally. You see what I'm saying? It ends up in the worst. Same with feminism, where they want to collude with the state to force men to have political correctness, and they can't say this and they can't say that, and ban speech and ban anything that's critical of women, and this kind of ridiculous culture. They want you collude with government to make that culture. What do they create? A hellhole. That's why we call them socialists with panties. That's what we call greenies socialists in with leaf panties. With fig leaves. So if you're for vegetarianism, veganism, and you're doing that as your own personal choice, and you're not, and you are strongly against the federal government, okay, then you're something different. Okay, fine, you can do that. Then you can still be a vegan, vegetarian, and still be on God's side, as long as you're not trying to collude with the state. As long as you, in your core, are protecting human rights, okay? But the problem with that whole ideology of veganism and vegetarianism, which I was for 6 years, is that there's a whole cult around it. There's a whole spirit world. There's a whole, like, religion around it, where you have these little skinny vegans. Some of them are somewhat more muscular, but you have the very, they're morally posturing, trying to be on this power trip of they think they're so holy because they don't eat meat. And they have this whole philosophy saying plants are less conscious, and meat, they just have this whole ideology. And I've seen it, I've been in it. They're some of the most intolerant people on the planet because they think killing animals or eating animals is murder. But yet, of course, they won't see killing plants as murder because they, quote, will say it has a lesser conscience, etc., etc., etc. You're still killing, fool. You're still killing to eat. When you break it down, meat or plants, it's nutrient value, it's calorie. Okay? And so if you don't have a moral framework, you don't have a God-centered framework, you're going to see human beings, animals, plants. There's really no difference between any of them. No, it's proven. When human beings are given sovereignty over the animal kingdom, which they deserve because they are the apex of the animal kingdom. And we're not animals. We're made in the image of God. We end up protecting animals. We end up not letting it go extinct. We end up preserving the ecosystem. And we end up understanding that animal predation is a natural part, an essential part of the ecosystem. Okay? The reintroduction of predators such as the wolves into Canada has been essential to control the elk population, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So, the more I find it too, and my on how Father is making me grow in terms of my love for the sovereignty of the aquatic world and fishing and fish in general. We can love those koi, we can have those koi, but we mustn't worship them. They're not gods. They are things that we must have sovereignty over, and that is including sovereignty of life and death. So we care for them, we love them, but also we remain in the proper position above the animal kingdom and the rest of creation. You must understand your place in the created order. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us on the Kings Report.
Standing here in your presence, in a grace so relentless, I am won by perfect love. Wrapped within the arms of heaven, in the peace that lasts forever, sinking deep in mercy seat. I'm wide awake, drawing closer by grace, and all my heart is yours. All fear removed, I breathe you in, I lean into your secret place. I'm wide awake, drawing closer by grace, and oh, my heart is yours. All fear removed, I breathe you in, I lean into your love. Oh, your love. Your love so deep is washing over me. Your face is all I see. You are my everything. Jesus Christ, you are my one desire. Lord, hear my only cry to know you all my life. Love so deep is washing over me. Your face is all I seek. You are my everything. Jesus Christ, you are my one desire. Lord, hear my only cry to know you all my life. I'm wide awake, drawing closer by grace, and oh, my heart is yours. All fear removed, I breathe you in, I lean into your love. Oh, your love.
At break of day, in hope we rise, we speak your name.
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this Friday, July 28th, 2017. I am your host, Seungjae Sean Moon, the second king of Chaniguk. Let's now go to Tim for some bad news on the macrocosm. Tim.
Right, on the healthcare thing, the repeal of the Obamacare has collapsed early this morning.
Oh, man, and this was the repeal bill, wasn't it?
This was the repeal, and the idea was that the Senate Republican leadership presented a stripped-down bill that if it had passed, then the Senate could then start talking with the House. They could, because after all, the actual law has to be written in a conference between the House and Senate anyway, because both houses have to pass the exact same bill. So if this had passed, then they would have gone to the House and say, okay, let's start talking, and they would have gone to conference. But it was the vote was 51 to 49, You know, until now, there have been 50-50 votes, and Pence has been casting the tie-breaking vote, but this time it was not 50-50, it was 51-49, because McCain joined the other two Republicans who have been, you know, on the Democrat side, and he cast the deciding vote. John McCain cast the deciding vote to kill
a traitor!
Obamacare repeal and replacement.
What a George Soros operative! I mean, he's proven it now.
Yeah.
He has completely proven he is a George Soros operative to take down this country.
A months-long effort by Senate Republicans to pass health legislation collapsed early Friday. That's very early this morning, after GOP Senator John McCain joined two of his colleagues to block a stripped-down Obamacare repeal bill. I regret that our efforts were simply not enough this time, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said on the Senate floor after the vote. This is clearly a disappointing moment. It's time to move on, he added, after pulling the bill from the floor. The decision by McCain to vote no came after weeks of brinksmanship and after his dramatic return from cancer treatment to cast the 50th vote to start debate. To start debate on the bill early this week, the GOP's skinny repeal bill was defeated 49-51, falling just short of the 50 votes needed to advance it. Republicans Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski also voted against it. It wasn't immediately clear what the next steps would be for the Republicans. The repeal effort had appeared to collapse several times before, only to be revived, and several Republicans pleaded for their colleagues not to give up, even as President Donald Trump blasted the vote. President Trump actually tweeted at 2:25 a.m. So he was losing some sleep over this. 3 Republicans and 40 Democrats let the American people down. The president tweeted, as I said from the beginning, let Obamacare implode, then deal. Watch. He wrote at 2:25 Washington time, 2:25 a.m. But McConnell has struggled to find a compromise that satisfies conservatives who have demanded a wholesale repeal of Obamacare and moderates who have been unnerved by predictions the bill would significantly boost the ranks of uninsured Americans. Democrats immediately called for a bipartisan debate on how to fix Obamacare. We are not celebrating, we're relieved, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said after the vote. Let's turn the page and work together to improve our health care system. He also said Democrats would be willing to help expedite bipartisan legislation and to advance Trump administration nominations. Republicans have been under intense pressure to deliver on their repeal promises, but repeated pleas and threats from the White House and conservative groups weren't enough to push the bill through. I sadly feel a great many Americans will feel betrayed. Yes. Anybody here feel betrayed? And that they were lied to.
What a traitor.
And that sentiment will not be unjustified. You cannot campaign against Obamacare and then vote for Obamacare, Republican Senator Ted Cruz said early Friday.
McCain really is a saboteur. He really is a bought-off politician. This guy is not a war hero. This guy is a treasonous snake who is 100% for the downfall of America and the bending of its knees for it to buckle and bow down to the Soroses and the Rothschilds. He is a 100% operative. He could have stepped in, been a hero, proven himself that he wanted to stand up for freedom and sovereignty, but he voted to destroy the chance for repeal. What a total traitor. He actually came out of surgery to do it. Just ridiculous. But very, very sad. I don't even want to rant and rave about it. I have no energy to rant and rave about it. It's just ridiculous. Seeing this crap every day.
This thing has been a lie after lie after lie from the beginning. Remember, you can keep your plan if you
keep
like
your doctor, keep your plan. Your
premiums will go down.
They went up 3 times on average. It's just ridiculous.
And now that was the Democrats. Now the Republicans have been promising for 7 years, we will repeal it as soon as we get a president in the White House. It's been one lie after another.
You vote for us, we will repeal Obamacare. How what a travesty. Middle-class Americans are being hard hit by Obamacare with 3 to 5 times the increase in their premiums, and we want to get rid of them. Just vote for us. We're the Republicans. We're against those Democrats. They're trying to keep Obamacare. No, the Republicans worked with the Democrats bipartisanly to create Obamacare because they're going to make $80 billion off of it. This is why they wanted to push it, because they're going to come out filthy rich and laugh their way to the bank at you. This is how ridiculous this is.
So the president's saying, well, let's let Obamacare collapse. Well, Obamacare collapsing means that premiums will continue to go up, and also insurance companies will continue to pull out of specific markets. And so the American people, a lot of people are going to be suffering.
Oh, man. Such wicked politicians. They have the House, they have the Senate, they have the presidency, and they won't even freaking get rid of it. They've lied to us for year after year after year. This is why you can't trust politicians, folks. This is why you cannot trust a centralized government. The right and the left are total hogwash. It's a complete lie. They're working with each other bipartisanly to screw you and your family, to literally make you so poor you can't afford health care. You'll be forced onto government health care, and you'll be forced to take subsidies from the state, which then makes you a slave of the state, and you will not be able to have independence, because when you receive those subsidies, you are now a employee of the state. It is ridiculous. In other top news, this is also another sad news. Jeff Sessions, he's very disappointing. Jeff Sessions, he was, had so much potential, but he is proving himself to be, at least in part of the deep state. Why isn't he going after Hillary Clinton? The thousands of crimes that she's committed. Why isn't he have a special committee going after Loretta Lynch and Wasserman Schultz from the DNC colluding and breaking all the laws with the DNC? Why aren't there any special committees? Why are there investigative committees, which he's recused himself of, on stupid Trump and Russia, the Trussia Gate? Give me a break. What the hell is this guy doing? I didn't want to shout today because I get an ab workout. I worked out too hard last night. My body is sore as a Shemitah. Some people like it when I rant. Some people hate it. Look, I can't please all of you fools, okay? I just got to be myself. And my body is so freaking sore because we did like 1 million pull-ups. How many pull-ups did we do? We did hundreds, at least over 100. Just pull-up after pull-up after pull-up. We were doing pull-up training. I made all the kids do pull-up training yesterday. And that's how they get stronger. But we must have done hundreds. Maybe, I don't know about hundreds, but anyways, way over 100. And my back is sore today. My abs are sore because the pull-ups actually give you a whole body workout. They're excellent full body gymnastic type workout, calisthenic workout, which make you super strong and make you super fit. Oh, Rio wasn't there yesterday. You missed out the training yesterday. But, oh man, I'm sore. So I don't want to rant and shout and scream. I got plenty of ab workout without my morning session of screaming and ranting and getting my abs tightened in the morning. But here you go, exclusive from Infowars.com. Roger Stone reveals that Sessions is on the way out. Looks like he's on the list now, and it looks like there is a new list of potential replacements for Attorney General Jeff Sessions, a new AG that will hopefully actually do the job of the AC and go after the freaking criminals like Hillary Rodham Clinton and company. Let's take a look at Roger Stone breaking this down on Infowars.com. Okay, boys, can you cue that video? Cue that video. That's, again, we always get these troubles here. 1 killed, 7 injured after Ohio State Fair. Some of the top stories on Infowars. President Trump announces ban on transgender military. Live, White House source Trump about to drop hammer on deep state traitors. Pastor, senior Republican, told me of a plan to take out Trump. Bush lawyer, Trump's calling for Clinton prosecution is an impeachable offense. What the? Man, you can't make this stuff up. You see how Bush and Clinton are in the same party? Mm-hmm. What do you mean? What do you mean? calling for Clinton's prosecution is an impeachable offense. What the hell are you talking about? She broke 36,000 federal laws. You can't. How can you not get angry at seeing this crap? These people are absolute demons. They're colluding with one another. The rhinos are not Republicans. They are 100% Democrats. They're 100% socialist communists. They're 100% for the deep state. They're 100% for centralized government. They're 100% for the growth of government, stealing taxpayer money and ruling over you with censorship and totalitarian fists. They are the enemy. Do you understand that? Just because somebody's Republican doesn't mean they're not the enemy. There's a lot of enemies in the Republican Party. Let's go to this video with Roger Stone. Go ahead, play it.
Put a bunch of attention on this Obamacare repeal vote, and then try to
David
steal
Knight
attention
is
away from anything
fantastic,
else.
man.
If
That guy
looks
is
like that's the case. They're now saying they think they have the votes in the Senate.
He's going to have his own syndicated radio show. Very soon.
Bashes talk radio.
Are we getting a double
Right back
soundtrack?
to Prime Form. John McCain goes right to bashing talk radio. Thanks for that, John
No.
McCain. Bernie Sanders says he doesn't want to have to call parents because children are going to die from the repeal of Obamacare. Well, Bernie Sanders, you're not going to call anyone. You're a total fraud anyway. And we already know what government health care does. It kills. Just ask Charlie Gard. But the big news is, right now, it looks like Senator Sessions is going to be on his way out the door. Roger Stone broke that. He had the breaking news, as well as the people that might be being considered to replace the Attorney General labeled as beleaguered from President Trump. Roger, I'd like to ask you this. The Washington Post ran the headline that I forget exactly who it was spinning around in a whirlwind. I think it was Sessions spinning in a whirlwind. Sessions spinning in a whirlwind created by Trump. I think that Sessions and Trump are probably in communications, and Sessions knows what's going on. I'd like your insight on that, as well as who is really in the whirlwind here. Is it Sessions or is it the liberal media?
Well, and I think the president is genuinely disappointed in Jeff Sessions, as I am, and I think we all should be. He came to office with a terrific reputation. He's been a real leader in the Senate on immigration issues. But on the key points here, he's completely MIA. He has declined. As you know, he recused himself, I think, unnecessarily on Russia, although perhaps he knew that he had discussed the campaign, contrary to his public comments, and I believe his sworn testimony, and now contrary to a document that conveniently leaked from the intelligence community, in which Kislyak, the Russian ambassador, claims that he did talk politics in the campaign with Sessions. He's been missing on the prosecution of the Clintons. He'd been missing on the prosecution of the Obama gang for wiretapping. His asset forfeiture program is something Adolf Hitler would be proud of. He is wants to relaunch the war on drugs, shearing off a giant piece of the Trump liberty-based constituency.
Yes.
You can see why the president is upset. Jeff Sessions is MIA. Where is he? When he does exert himself, it's on the wrong issues.
Roger, let me join in there and say, you know, when we all got angry, and rightfully so, I think, when Comey refused to prosecute Hillary Clinton. But now we understand that Sessions is doing the same thing, and he's taking it to another level. As you pointed out before, this isn't a supposition, this isn't your opinion, that the FBI and the NSA violated the law when they surveilled the Trump campaign, when they unmasked individuals. That was the FISA court that said that. So there's no question at all about this. The FISA court has looked very carefully at this, and they said, yes, there was a violation of the law by the FBI, by the NSA at the bare minimum. Why isn't the Attorney General prosecuting them? And again, still letting Hillary off the hook as we had FBI Director Comey do?
Well, and if I may steal a line from others, what did the president know and when did he know it? Hard for me to believe that Barack Obama was unaware of the illegal surveillance of tens of thousands of people, all of whom happen to be political opponents of this administration. Anyone who has not read the Circa News stories on this by John Solomon and Sarah Carter should do so. It's funny how none of this appeared on the front pages of the Washington Post or the New York Times.
Yes.
You won't find it on CNN, but it is a scandal far bigger than Watergate. and it is the key to the president's survival. Stone's rules: you do not win on defense. Here he has his opponents by the short hairs in an outrageously illegal and unconstitutional spying operation, and his attorney general is dithering around trying to prosecute people for smoking pot to improve their health. Sessions is just an abysmal failure. And I know Donald Trump for 40 years. When he hits you in 4 tweets, he's sending you a message. Jeff Sessions, toast.
When you said earlier that the only name that you mentioned as a possible successor to Sessions was Pompeo, is there anybody else's name there? Because, I mean, as you pointed out before, he's got connections to the deep state, and he's got connections to the intelligence community. And I said, you know, the real issue here is electspionage that we've had here. Is election espionage by our own intelligence community. Is a member of the intelligence community really going to come after those people?
You have just capsulized my concern exactly, David, and that is the president is high on Pompeo. But I don't think he understands that Pompeo will not prosecute the boys at Langley for their role in the illegal spying on the Trump campaign, Trump associates, and other Republicans. And there is the nut of the problem. One must wonder what happened to Pompeo.
We'll be right back.
And we will be right back after this short break. Stay with us on the King's Report.
Replicates, we lose a little bit of our telomeres.
Revolution somehow. Now I'm lost in your freedom. And this world I'll overcome.
Hi, welcome to Tommy Gun Warehouse. We have a short video for you this afternoon. We want to show you how to work the action on a P380. This is our very small pocket 380 that it has a very strong spring, you know, to work the slide. And this is because it's a very small gun, and we need to have that extra spring tension to actually make the gun work properly. So today I want to show you how to properly work the action. Ladies sometimes find it very difficult, not to mention some men find it difficult to work the slide. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how to hand a firearm to someone properly. The ejection port should be up, the slide is back, and nothing in the magazine well. Then you take this and you hand it to somebody in this manner. They should then verify that it is empty and nothing in the magazine well. And now what I want to show you is how to work the action on this P380. It's sometimes difficult for men and many times difficult for women, but if you know how, it's not that difficult. So Di is going to start out by facing at a 45-degree angle downrange. The gun is going to be, the axis of the barrel is going to be the same axis as her forearm. She's going to keep it closer to her chest, and then reaching over the top with her weak hand, she's going to make sure that this ejection port is clear, that her hand isn't in the way, because you don't want to have an accidental detonation of a primer and injure your hand. So using the upper body strength, you're going to, you know, just work it together, push and pull at the same time, and lock it back. And it's just that simple. You might not get it the first time, but all it takes is a little practice and learning how to use your muscles, and you'll do just fine. Di had started this just a short time ago, and after the third or fourth attempt, she was doing it perfectly. So thanks for listening. Come down and see us at Tommy Gun Warehouse, and we'll show you this P380. Yes, sir.
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this Monday. Friday, I'm sorry.
It is Friday.
July 28th, 2017. I'm your host, Sean Moon, second king of China. Go. Remember, if you do buy the summer sale with the car arms pistols, you do get, I got a free mag. So I got 2 mags with the gun and, oh no, I'm sorry, I got 3 mags with the gun and another extra. I have 4 magazines.
Wow.
Isn't that ridiculous?
No, what are you
But
gonna
this
do?
is, of course, 5+1. Okay, so it's a smaller package. This literally goes in your pocket. I have a pocket holster for this, like a sleeve, which you put in your pocket, and you can be wearing sweatpants at the gym and be carrying this. You know what I mean? So it's like a super concealable. I mean, it's like almost like an inch shorter on the bottom and half an inch shorter on the barrel. It's still heavy because it's 40. You know, it's got meat to it, but it's a pretty sweet package. And once it's decked out with the koi, it's gonna look super dope. But at the same time, what was that point I was saying? Oh, you get a free mag with the clip. Oh yeah, make sure when you get your new car arms pistol, you put 200 rounds through. As Rio mentioned just now, the spring is so strong that you have to put 200 rounds through for the spring to soften up and the gun to not jam. Okay, maybe jam's not the word.
No,
jam's not the right word.
I have not had any trouble with my car.
From the very beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning. Yeah.
I believe yours were already prepared though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, so if Doug, for example, gave you the gun, and if he worked on it, that means he pre-prepared it. I mean, he probably put 200 rounds to it. So there are people who are online who do reviews of the guns, and then they say, oh, but then you see whether or not they went to the 200 that's recommended, and that is basically stated on the car website to say you have to put 200 rounds through this gun because the spring is so tight. The people who don't do that, obviously they have malfunctions in the first 200 rounds. But then you see them, and they say literally like magic, after 200 rounds, it's like flawless. It's because that spring has got to soften up just a little bit, so that you have proper function. And then after that, these things are just flawless. They're just absolutely flawless. And to have this smaller package in there, I mean, look how tiny that package is. Super tiny. Look at that compared to my hand. I mean, it just disappears in my hand. Look at that.
It's amazing that a 40 caliber is so
40
small.
caliber that time.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that is ridiculous. 40 caliber. I mean, look how 40 caliber that tiny. Golly, I mean, 40 caliber is right around a 45 caliber. Okay, it's like you're shooting like 45 ACP out this basically. It's so tiny, and with the buffalo bore, you can put down a moose or a bear with that. So it's like, that's a tremendous amount of firepower. All right, so make sure you put your 200 rounds through your pistol before you carry it as a self-defense weapon. So this is not ready as self-defense weapon. I think maybe I'll give this to Brother Lowell today, because if he's going to head over to the factory today and have him just put 200 rounds through it for me. I'll talk to him after the broadcast. But anyways, we do need to make sure you take care of your pistol and get your rounds through it before you use it as a self-defense system. All right. Now back to headline news. Scaramucci, White House leakers would have been hanged in the past. He's right. So treasonous. In a 30-minute interview that is being poured over this morning, White House Communication Director Anthony Scaramucci told CNN that the treasonous leakers he's going after would have been hanged at one time. The White House leaks are small potatoes relative to the things going on about leaking things about Syria or North Korea or Iraq, Scaramucci said. Those are types of leaks that are so treasonous that 150 years ago, people would have been hung for those type of leaks. As the interview, the host, Chris Cuomo, progressed, Scaramucci outlined his goal as far as the leaks are concerned. Chris Cuomo being the brother, I believe, of Cuomo, the former mayor of New York, and lands a job in CNN because of his, filial connections. There you go. Now all the cynics around here and the tweets and all these other nonsense saying the leaks are never going to stop. And I say to those people, you are correct. I know the leaks will never stop, but if I can dial back the leaks in the department that I'm representing and the department that I'm running, then I will feel I've accomplished something on behalf of our president, Scaramucci noted. The newly appointed comms communications man said the president personally authorized this morning's call to CNN. Okay, Scaramucci revealed that he and the president know who the senior White House leakers are and are moving to deal with them. It's absolutely, completely, and totally reprehensible, he said, adding, as you know from the Italian expression, the fish stinks from the head down. But I can tell you two fish that don't stink, and that's me and the president. I don't like the activity going on in the White House. I don't like what they're doing to my friend. Scaramucci also commented on his relationship with Reince Priebus, who he seemed to implicate as one of the leakers in a now deleted tweet, saying he only posted it to make a point about how Priebus' responsibility to help him uncover the leakers. When the journalists who know who the leakers are, like Ryan Lisa, these guys know who the leakers are. Jonathan Swan Axios, these guys know who the leakers are. I respect him for not telling me because I understand journalistic integrity. However, when I put out a tweet, I put Rence's name in a tweet. They make the assumption it's him because journalists know who the leakers are. So if Rence wants to explain he's not the leaker, let him tell you all about it, himself. Scaramucci said last week that he and Priebus are like brothers, but today added that some brothers are like Cain and Abel. Scaramucci stated that he doesn't know if the relationship with Rence is repairable, adding that's up to the president. So they're now starting to focus in and target in on the deep state operatives within the White House, including Reince Priebus. Some of the most, one of the most glaring and obvious deep state operatives being completely colluding with the deep state, trying to block Trump from the very beginning during his campaign trail, completely coming out as an arrogant little troglodyte, lecturing the American people about how their votes don't matter. Meanwhile, 50 years of history, they've been saying that their votes matter. And then they reveal the nature of the RNC, which is it's a private organization, and they, the chairman and the chair of the board, gets to choose the nominee. It has nothing to do with the people. It has nothing to do with the states. It's a total fraud. It's a total illusion. It's a total sham. And we got screwed with the butt stick for the last 50 freaking years, being lied to by the dang Republicans. Of course, and the Democrats, who are open liberal, open commies. But the Rhino Republicans pretending that they're conservative, pretending that they're actually libertarian, they're not. Priebus is the mole in the White House. He is absolutely the one that Trump must get rid of to preserve national security and to protect the White House. Ann Coulter, pretty white Australian girls' lives matter. Leftists push anti-Islamophobia agenda after Somalis kill innocent women. There are nearly 2 billion Muslims in the world, amounting to a quarter of the world's population and controlling 50 countries. The English-speaking world is about a fifth that size and constitutes a dwindling majority in about a half dozen countries. But somehow, no matter how the story is written, Muslims always get to play the victim, and Anglo-Saxons are cast as the aggressors. That's why a Somali cop's fatal shooting of a pajama-clad Good Samaritan has gone directly into the Be Nice to Muslims file, rather than why are all these Somalis here file. Answer, because of the earlier mistake with excessive Scandinavian immigration. I can't help noticing that it was precisely the Be Nice to Muslims dictate that put the Somali nincompoop on the police force in the first place. Here we go. Oh, right, hold on, where is she? Okay.
This is the case in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, I believe, where...
As well, yes.
Yeah, a woman called 911 to report what she thought might be a rape going on in her in the alley behind her house.
So this is a link to a continuation of that article. Yeah. As soon as the story broke about the Somali cop fatally shooting a pretty white Australian girl in Minneapolis, one of my Muslim fans emailed me a story regarding... here we go. Hunting in Kuwait as explanation why this Noor guy shot through the car. I remember being in Kuwait with the president of the investment bank I worked for. We were invited by one of our directors to hunt turtle doves. There were 5 of us in all, and each had a 12-gauge shotgun. Instructions were only shoot straight up, straighten up. Shotgun point in air, resting on shoulders were not being used. That's it. I was on the far left, and the fellow was on the other end was a Syrian. Well, we were out there, no straggling turtle doves were migrating, and half an hour later, when one shot was fired, then 2 birds from a tree I had darted on, and between me and the houses on my left. We all looked, but the Syrian turned towards us and began shooting over our heads at the birds. The rest of us hit the ground, even though our host took his gun away. I gave them mine and went back because if there was a way to overreact, the Syrian would think it is natural and can't even consider the consequences. You cannot place these people in a position of authority, for example, with a gun in their hands. They will always shoot as a default reaction to anything that is instant. Neither training nor thinking can change their natures. And that is why he shot. He had a gun. Since then, we found out that this is exactly why Officer Mohammed Noor shot the gentle yoga instructor walking towards the police car. What? He heard a loud noise, or a power line bloggers call it, the loud noise heard around the world. Noor shot from the passenger seat, killing Justin Damond, according to his partner sitting at the wheel, who is presumably now deaf. Damon now had called 911 to report what sounded like a rape in the alley behind her house and was approaching the responding police car when she was shot dead. As usually happens when Muslims attack, the press is consumed with worry about the mental state and well-being. Sample headlines: Somalis on edge after Minneapolis cop named fatal shooting. The Daily Herald: Somalis in Minneapolis on defensive after police shooting. St. Paul Pioneer Press: Minneapolis shooting brings unwelcome attention to Somalis. Associated Press. There are nearly 2 billion Muslims in the world, accounting for the quarter side of the world population control 50 cities. That's where it is. We read that point. Be nice to Muslims. Among Noor's evident errors the night he killed Justine, number one, shooting from the passenger seat, the bullet whizzing inches past his partner's face through the driver's side window.
That's right, yeah, that's what he did.
Ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Turning him deaf. Not turning his body cam on when responding to a 911 call.
Both officers had their body cams off, and the dash cam is also off.
Ridiculous. Shooting to kill because he heard a loud noise. Believing that white women in America pose a threat to a policeman. A few of Weather Underground ladies were accomplices to cop killings 40 years ago, but even they weren't lone white women cop killers. According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, women of any race committed about 10% of all murders from 1980 to 2008, and black people committed a majority of all murders. Or other than a small child, it's difficult to think of a demographic that poses less of a threat to a policeman in America than a 40-year-old white woman. Noor's African-American neighbor, Chris Miller, said he was shocked when he heard about Damon shooting until he found out it was Noor. Miller told the Daily Telegraph that the Somali neighbor was quick to anger and was always going off on women and children. He's extremely nervous, Miller said, a little jumpy, and he doesn't really respect women. The least thing you could say to him can set him off. Sounds perfect for a police officer. May we see Officer Noor's cadet exam, his training reports? Does anyone believe there's a slight possibility that Noor was not rushed to the police academy so that the nice people of Minneapolis could feel good about themselves for having a real Somali on the police force? Minnesota's importation of these Stone Age people is a completely self-inflicted wound. It's as if the state decided to inject itself with hepatitis C. Hey, you know what? We're too white and pure. Everyone tie a vein off and give yourself a shot of hep C. We could learn from that. With Somalis, you get all the social pathologies of Muslims and the American underclass rolled into one package. There is the terrorism and pederasty, but also the criminality and joblessness. At least with taxpayer draining Mexican illegals, you could say yes, but they provide the rich with such cheap labor, someone somewhere in America gets a benefit. There is absolutely no benefit to the more than 100,000 Somalis brought in by Minnesota, except to feed the Scandinavian ethno-masochism expressed as arrogant self-regard. Gosh, they're good people. Rest in peace, Justine. Oh my gosh, wow.
Yeah, I'd like to know what his life like was in Somalia.
Wow.
What was he doing there? Whether there's any background there that might explain this situation.
Wow. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us on the Kings Report.
He's surely alive. He's living on the
Hi guys, I'm down here at the range today. I just learned a new technique from the father of the 44 Magnum, Elmer Keith, which is called shooting out of the notch, which allows you to make really long distance shots and still have an extremely precise sight picture. So I brought my CW9 car down, and with this little gun, we're gonna shoot this little munchkin at 200 yards up in the hills, applying this technique, and hopefully we'll make the shot. To apply this technique, instead of using the blade of the front sight lined up with the top of the rear sight, I'm going to take the dot of the front sight and raise it up so that it's out of the notch, but I'm still going to keep the front sight on my target. Bringing that front sight up like that is going to compensate for the bullet drop over that excessively long distance with just this little gun. So if applied right, we should be making contact. Let's see how it goes. I saw this shot, so I'm a little bit out of breath because you gotta run to make sure that is what I thought it was, and it was. So while making this shot, from that distance with these white dot sights, it literally would cover the entire target. You couldn't see what you were shooting. So using the Elmer Keith technique, you were able to raise it out of the back notch, I can't breathe, out of the back notch, allowing you to keep your accuracy, aim, and also still see the target, which is key because it was a hard shot, not gonna lie. But yeah, it went great, and Elmer knows what he's talking about. And for such a small gun to be able to take that hit, I'm very impressed with this. All right, guys, be sure to like and share, and I'll see you out on the range.
That was awesome. Hey, can I try that one? Yeah, let's do it with the 380. Does everybody have eyes and ears?
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this Friday, July 28, 2017. I'm your host, Hung Sean Moon, second king of Cheniguk. Let's go now to Joe Biggs, former military hero, about the truth about the military trans ban. Let's see that video.
I'm not gonna sit here and take it anymore.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Joe Biggs with Infowars.com, and today President Trump came out and made an announcement reversing Obama's transgendered allowance into the military, whatever you want to call it, saying, hey, our military is a fighting force. We're not here to do any of this PC BS. We are not a social experiment. We are here to do one thing and one thing only, to put rounds down range, put steel on target, put 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. Hooah! That's what we do. And that's what it's all about, and that's why you join. You see the passion, the fire, the intensity in each and every single soldier that sets foot into combat. I don't want someone named Tom that wants to be Tommy sitting beside me in the foxhole going, I just don't really know if I'm quite ready for this shit. I should be doing something else like being a beauty pageant or playing with Barbie dolls. No! Get on the 50 cal. That's what we want. We want manly men. We want alpha females. We want people who got their mind right. They're ready to go train, PT their asses off, get chiseled, get a buzz cut, and kick ass. That is what it's about. So none of this crap right here that's going on. And the LGBT community comes out today and they go, oh my God, we're being discriminated against. Well, let's use facts. There's a little website called New York Times that says that only 0.6% of the adult population in America is transgendered. That's 1.4 million Americans, everybody. That's not a lot of people. There's 2 million people or more, almost 3 million in Austin alone. So we've discriminated against a little city in Texas? I mean, that's what's really going on? Oh my God. Well, guess what? Let's use more facts from military.com. 80% of all people that go to join the military are turned down. Only 20% of walk-ins are allowed in to the fighting forces. So discrimination, if you want to call it that, has been going on for years, but it's not discrimination. We are a fighting force. We are not a social experiment. We are meant to find the biggest, the baddest, the smartest, and the craziest MFers out there to put them behind a gun. Teach them how to use it, to be proficient with it, to be tactical, to be trained well, and to be just a physical specimen, a god ready to take on anything out there, to rip heads off, spit down throats, and put 2 to the chest and 1 to the head. That's it. We kick in doors, blow stuff up, fly fighter jets. Go in and do what we got to do. We don't have time for worrying about Tom trying to be Tommy. Now think about this. That's a small percentage of people. Out of that 1.4 million people, how many people rushed to the military to sign up? Probably not that much. But you know what does cost a lot out of that? The fact that the military was going to spend our money to do those surgeries. I got a better idea that we could use for that money now. We use it for homeless veterans. We use it for the veterans that have been injured in combat, protecting our freedoms. We help them get homes, the ones that can't get jobs. We help them get the medical care that they seek and need. We help and use it to get the VA system better. There's many things that can be done, but allowing transgendered people in just really isn't one of them, and I could care less. I don't feel bad about it at all. Quite frankly, I jumped up and down today and screamed and actually did a sprint. I was that happy. I promised myself when I got out of the Army I'd never run again, but I ran today because today was a great day. It was a momentous day. It was the greatest day in history to see that being reversed, because we get back to where we are supposed to be, fighting the enemy, focusing on that, being professional and tactical and proficient in our weapon systems, in our MOSs, and getting the job done. And that's what it is. That's what it's all about. So, round of applause, a big hoo-ah for President Trump for doing the right thing. Thank you, General Mad Dog Mattis and all those out there for actually getting us on the right track, back to the fighting force that we were and will continue to be from here on out. This has been Joe Biggs with Infowars.com.
So there you go, Joe Biggs with a tremendous breakdown. He's a tremendous hero that has fought in different parts of the Middle East. Wounded Warrior defends Trump transgender ban. Iraq War MPD says stress of war tests every ounce of your being. Iraqi veteran is defending Trump administration's decision to ban transgender individuals from serving at any capacity in the U.S. military. Wounded Warrior J.R. Salzman posted a lengthy set of tweets describing his own personal accounts following the president's Wednesday announcement. Ultimately, Salzman feels a soldier needs to be tough mentally, physically, and emotionally. I served in Iraq in 2006. For the first 5 months, I was on a 12-man fire base out in the middle of nowhere in the desert. Every day was Groundhog Day. Wake up, do the same patrol, the same shifts every single day. It was so damn hot, 150 degrees in the gun trucks. Trace fire would go overhead occasionally at night. IEDs on the road were a daily threat. We got resupplied food every 8 days. QRF was an hour away. After they made the minimum 3-gun truck rule, after the guys got kidnapped, life got harder. 3-gun truck rule. My gosh. Putting these soldiers at risk on the bottom of these stupid administrative rules. The stress of being out there and doing the same job every single day eats away at you. The young guys had a problem with that over time. Any tiny little personal issue that suddenly became a mountain. And that shish kebab came out on that fire base. And they snapped mentally. After stepping on each other's nuts, living in the same can for 5 months, guys were at each other's throats. The stress made it worse. Guys would literally snap over a Dear John letter. Their personal issues came out and they were instantly combat ineffective. Now take someone confused about whether they're a man or woman. Take those psychological and emotional issues and put them in that environment. Take someone who's right off the bat not uniform or part of the same team. Give them such treatment because of their identity. Take that person, put them in a stressful war environment, and watch what happens. It's a effing ticking time bomb. You have to be incredibly tough mentally, physically, emotionally. War is not a effing video game. It tests every ounce of your being. You can't teach someone to be a fierce warrior in an effing PowerPoint. You either have it or you don't. You can hack it or you can't. We had guys who couldn't. When faced with combat situations, they crumbled. They had mental and emotional issues. They were a liability. To be successful at war, you have to become a warrior mentality, physically and emotionally. You can't fake it and go through the motions. In war, if it comes down to kill or be killed, and you hesitate, you're dead. It's simple as that. It's not an effing video game. War is no place for people who are mentally, emotionally, and physically confused, in turmoil. You have to have your esh together. Or you don't. If you don't, you'll just get people needlessly killed. Political correctness has absolutely no place in the military. Enough for now. This one-armed veteran has a business to run. Unlike Iran, the country that took my arm, Obama didn't pay me millions. Wow! Wow, 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 wow. What a powerful testimony, reality tweets by a wounded warrior vet who keeps it true, J.R. Salzman. What a hero. Thank you for your service, Mr. Salzman. What a hero, defending the military and defending the nature of that military, not to become wacky, transgendered, forcing everybody to pay for their freaking sex operations. Give me a break! Ridiculous. Another news, who was sabotaging viral Alex Jones folk song video. Listen, look what they're doing. An unexplained glitch stirs outrage amongst internet users. Numerous internet users are reporting that audio from comedy channel Super Deluxe's viral YouTube video, Alex Jones Rants as an indie folk song, has suddenly become out of sync. Multiple YouTube users began commenting on Super Deluxe's video, which has garnered 1.7 million views in 2 weeks after noticing the unexplained issue. Here's some people saying, you think this is a bad lip sync video if you've never watched Alex Jones. Is the sync off for anyone else? What the F? YouTube delayed the audio to make it look unprofessional, but they forgot that Alex uploaded the song before that on his channel. Go watch it there if you don't believe me. We now have 100% proof that YouTube is trying to push their propaganda. Shame on you. It's been stuck at 1,540,000 views for like 4 hours now. 3 days ago, it had 1.8 million views. They also delete likes, and audio is effed up for a lot of people. YouTube loves to corrupt and manipulate. It's ridiculous. When you look at all these like conservative videos, and when it's in the corners, like on the side of the YouTube page, it has like no views. It says no views. It says like no views. And you click it, then it has like 50,000 views. And all the stupid CNN stuff has like, 100,000 views. They put it up. It's ridiculous. YouTube is 100%, Google, which owns YouTube, 100% colludes with Zuckerberg to create censorship laws, illegal censorship of views that they don't like. And of course, they hate any other view that promotes sovereignty. They hate it because they want to centralize power, collude with government, and rule the world with net censorship. Just ridiculous. So they actually threw off the sync. It looks like here. This person's likes got deleted so that people will not watch the video. InfoWars reached out to Super Deluxe to see if the company was aware of the issue, but did not receive a reply. Despite the bizarre disruption, the popular internet meme has continued to result in numerous songs covered and launched of InfoWars 220,000 folk song cover contest. Those willing to still enter have until the end of Alex Jones Show at 3 p.m. on Friday, August 4th, before InfoWars. That's next week. So if any of our young people from Sanctuary want to do the indie folk song sending to InfoWars, hey, you guys could try it out. The prize is $20,000. You could use $20,000, right, Ria? Maybe you and Shu, you can do something about it. But you only have until August 4th, so there you go. And here is, of course, the viral remix that set the internet on hilarious fire. Take me off screen, take me off screen. Look at that McCain, that traitor.
Factories keeping babies alive and selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people?
Clinton Foundation witness found dead. Look at this commie, stupid commie. Look at that crazy girl. Golly, she's nuts. Look at her. She painted her face green.
I love Sadie, so you.
Look at those
kill my
stupid
kids.
bitches.
Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff, man.
We came, we saw, he died.
She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weirdo woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink.
Oh my God.
Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur.
There's a guy on the radio who apparently Trump's on his show frequently. He said, me and Hillary are demons. Said we smell like sulfur. Ain't that something?
I had never seen or smelled any woman like that, ever.
People are telling me she smells.
Who could not notice someone who smelled that bad?
Convicted pedophile. Jeff Epstein.
Spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type.
See that Muslim migrant smack that woman? That's what you get in Islam. It's a different civilization. You talk up, you get slapped. You also get killed too if you back up too much.
We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna
But apparently, Western women want that. They want to just let them pour in, at least the liberal lunatic women. They want them pour in and just they want to get bitch slapped.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning, and they had the police chief on making excuses from that town in Minnesota. And they had the Fox News host, this is the Fair and Balanced channel, going, Donald Trump really stepped in at this time. He said it was a bombing before it had officially been called a bombing, and Hillary's on him, and she's got some really good points.
See? So you got to understand, Western women, you have to understand you're very spoiled and you're very blessed. You don't have a culture which if you talk your lip, you get bitch slapped. You don't have that. So I know you want to complain about, oh, these men say the Christian men are misogynists and they speak out and they tell women that they're not perfect and goddesses. They don't freaking bitch slap you. They're not allowed to behead you. They're not allowed to stab you in the throat and rip your head off because you left the religion. You understand? It's not like Islam. So don't give me any crap about Christian men being oppressive and mean to women. If you go on that trek, you better be attacking Islam publicly every single day. Because you just saw that woman who just got bitch slapped by that Islamic migrant. That is part of the culture of Islam. You are allowed to whip and beat your wife into submission. Do you understand? You can vent on her and beat her. Do you understand? That's very different from Christian culture. Don't be spoiled bitches. Be grateful for Christian culture. Don't be arrogant. And if you attack Christian men, you better be attacking Muslim men for what their scripture allows them to do to women. So isn't it so funny how women who want to complain about men, especially Christian-centric men who don't beat them, they may say stuff to call them out if they're stupid, but they don't freaking physically beat their wife, and they wanna attack Christian men and Christian culture. You better attack Islamic culture. If you're so there to protect women and the victimization of women, you better be on full assault against the Muslim, putting your neck on the line and getting death threats. Because otherwise, you're a fake women protector. You're not protecting women. You're just protecting your ego and self-victimizing yourself. Let's take a short break, and we will be right back after this quick break for more. Maybe we'll get an update on this hour on the DP Epic Road Trip. That and more coming up next.
You took me from the wayside, called me your own, thrown me a lifeline, carried me home. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. Over the horizon is where I look beyond. You're the silver lining, bring me through the storm. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. You're all I want. You're all I And you are my help. Jesus, forever. You've forgiven my failures. You are my help. You never let go. Jesus, forever. You've forgiven my failures. You are my help. You never let go. Jesus, forever. You've forgiven my failures. You are my help. You never let go. You took me from the wayside, called me your own, thrown me a lifeline, you carried me home. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. Over the horizon is where I look beyond. You're the silver lining, breaking through the storm. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. Cast away, lost in the violent sea, drifting away till you rescued me. You set my feet on solid ground. When I lost my grip, love held on tight. Even my words didn't change your mind. My guilt and shame lost in your grace. You took me from the wayside, called me your own, thrown me a lifeline, carried me home. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. Over the horizon is where I look beyond. You're the silver lining, breaking through the storm. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. Run away hard in a distant land. I've wandered so far still to find you there. There's no escaping your embrace. With my hope locked in future sure, my life has a cause worth fighting for. My soul exists to know your name. You took me from the wayside, called me your own, thrown me a lifeline, you carried me home. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. Over the horizon is where I look beyond. You're the silver lining, breaking through the storm. Jesus, forever, you've forgiven my failures. You are my help. You never let go. Jesus, forever, you've forgiven my failures. You are my help. You never let go. Jesus, forever, you've forgiven my failures. You are my help. You never let go. You took me from the wayside, called me on the road, throw me a lifeline to carry me home. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. Over the horizon is where I look beyond. You're the silver lining breaking through the storm. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. The castaway lost in the violent sea, drifting away till you rescued me. You set my feet on solid ground. When I lost my grip, love held on tight. Even my words didn't change your mind. My guilt and shame lost in your grace. You took me from the wayside, called me your own, throw me a lifeline and carried me home. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. Over the horizon is where I look beyond. You're the silver lining breaking through the storm. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. Run away hard in a distant land. I wander so far still to find you there. There's no escaping your embrace. With my hope locked in a future sure, my life has a cause worth fighting for. My soul exists to know your name. You took me from the wayside, called me your own, throw me a lifeline and carried me home. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. Over the horizon is where I look beyond. You're the silver lining breaking through the storm. Jesus, you're all I want, you're all I want. And you are my help. Jesus, forever, you've forgiven my failures.
Oh, 658.
14.
All right, 646. Time 471. Hello folks, I'm Justin Moon, the president of Carr Firearms Group, and today I've got the PM40 with True Glow night sights, and look at that, Magna porting. Look at that porting on that. This is our standard PM40 with the day sights, but now this model with the Magna porting and the True Glow night sights. What a difference. The .40 caliber PMs have a reputation for being quite a bit of a kicker. They do kick a lot. And so we put the Magna porting on these PM40s, and boy, what a difference does that make. It really makes this PM40 shoot a lot softer, reduces the muzzle flip, the recoil comes straight back into you, and becomes a very manageable pistol.
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report this morning, Friday, July 28th, 2017. I'm your host, Hung Sean Moon, the second king of Cheongguk. Joined here with Gideon Rauchi and Shigeru Tashiro, who have returned from the DP, Divine Principle Road Trip. Now, that was an epic journey through many, many states of the United States, from north to south, traveling all the way, get a map up, guys, from Pennsylvania to the tip of Florida, the Key West, not the Key, Key West, Florida, Keys, Key West. Okay. Now, before we get into that, real quick, shocking top news, which everybody has to hear about. Secret Service visits the pastor who exposed the deep state coup against Trump. This is a pastor who was told by a congressman of the plot to topple Trump in the next month. That is to kill him, overthrow him, and kill him. Either incapacitate him, kill him. The point is, get rid of him. This man was, as soon as he released that publicly, he was visited by the Secret Service. That's how scared the deep state is. And that's the only way we stop this. The only way we stop this is with your prayers and with you talking about it. You have to open your mouth and tell people about this, because it's only by the spread of word of mouth and the honesty of people's conscience that are being expressed in the atmosphere that this kind of evil can be stopped. It's when these demons are exposed in their process of planning and trying to assassinate him, and they get caught. They say, oh crap, we can't do it now. You see, you can hold them off. They're trying to kill President Trump. And this pastor from South Africa, actually, who is now a citizen of the United States, following a Wednesday appearance on the Alex Jones Show discussing a possible coup, Pastor Howard Brown of Revival Ministry International says Secret Service agents paid him a visit. Right after I was on with Alex, they came into my office and they tried to get information about me, from me, concerning the congressman, who the congressman was, Howard Brown told InfoWars. And as I said, look, I'll tell you what he said, but I cannot give you his information. Howard Brown says he told agents to obtain a subpoena after they attempted to acquire the information from multiple angles. I said, you're probably going to have to subpoena me, and even then, I probably won't tell you, the pastor said. The Florida-based pastor from South Africa said he was wary of who could be trusted with the current administration, but told agents that the congressman would likely have warned Secret Service himself if there was reason for concern. So who do we trust, Howard Brown said, if he asked the congressman? Who do we trust in the Treasury Department And he just shook his head. You don't really know. Who do we trust in the Secret Service? How many Obama operatives do we still have around? I can't divulge anything. And there you go, folks. It is a dangerous time for America. You understand? If they incapacitate Trump, let's say if they cripple him or somehow they attack him and he's critically injured or even just hospitalized, this and incapacitated, this will lead to a civil war, which they want. The deep state and the Obama coup know, because they can't win based on information. They can't win based on a debate and argumentation. So they have to win by brute force, which is the total pattern of a totalitarian. And that is what they're leading up to, because they know all their crimes in the last 8 years of unmasking people, unregulated, illegal federal spying on their political opponents, you name it. They have, and patriot movements, charity movements that are Christian-based. I mean, you name it. It's ridiculous. They've committed every single crime under the book. And they know that Trump is not an establishment politician. They know that he is standing on the sovereignty side. And they know that he is exposing them, changing up his team so that they may potentially go after these criminals who have been perpetrating these crimes on the American populace for the last 8 years plus. All the puppet teams that were in there of the CIA since Daddy George Bush. I'm sick of ranting every day. I don't want to shout and scream today. I've been shouting and screaming all freaking week. I'm tired of shouting and screaming, and my body's a little sore. But just ridiculous, okay? Now, let's go to these young people who are on this DP road trip, and Jamal Johnson's waiting out there. Let him wait until next break. But wait there next break, and then let these guys chime in first. Share us about your experience of the DP. What were the highlights? What were some of the things? What were some of the spiritual breakthroughs you may have had? What were some of the things that you saw? Did you encounter Satan? Did you enjoy the challenges? Did you, what was your experience, epic journey across America, at least down south? Gideon Rauchi, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, one of the things I'm really proud of that the young people did
Zoom in on them, guys. Zoom in on them.
Was the Man in the Street. And I watched some of their videos. I've been grading their videos. And some have a lot of courage in saying... Some had a lot of courage in battling other people, you could say. One person I could recall would be Jonathan Franco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's this more relativist guy he was talking to. And,
oh, wow. So good. Go ahead.
And
break it down.
Right. So if I could remember the conversation, the guy ended up saying that moral relativism came from Judeo-Christian values.
Wow. What a brain nut the dumb peanut.
Right. So Jonathan, he broke it down saying, no, that doesn't match, because Judeo-Christian values claims to have absolute truths, not moral relativism.
Right.
And they kind of went back and forth, and John is he's trying not to debate the guy. The guy's feeling it's a debate, but that's because he's too sensitive to, maybe face the truth when John's speaking.
He's being exposed.
Yeah, exactly. Be exposed, exactly.
You got on film too?
We got on film.
Hey,
yeah, we got on film.
Man. Oh, all right, fantastic. We got to check that out.
Right, and in the end, because the guy, he was just so stubborn with his moral relativism, he left, and John
he just ran away.
He ran away, and John
had to just run and hide.
Exactly. Well, John said, "Okay, goodbye, moral relativist."
Good for you, Jonathan Franco. There you go. He get called out on the King's Report.
And also another one that was surprising was Eugen. Eugen was actually pretty good at Man Street.
Oh, good, nice.
She was pretty scared in the beginning due to her language, capabilities.
Sure.
And
it's not easy doing it in another language. Not easy.
I was pretty confident that she's she can be able to converse. I was like, Eugen, you got it. And the videos that came up with it, she was able to talk with people very well. I remember there's this one Christian couple that she was talking to, and she asked them the question, is God a man? And they had, they understood God's a man. They had a really good conversation. And eventually this lady brought up the novel The Shack. Have you ever heard about The Shack?
The Shack? No.
The Shack? Okay, well, it's actually, a lot of Christians like it, but when you look deep into the novel The Shack, it's actually a little bit controversial going against the Bible, even though it seems like it's being biblical. They portray God as a black woman. Right. So, which the lady that she was interviewing, she did agree that that's not right. But what she did say was, I like how they portray God to be a very, very loving, kind God, and a God that doesn't punish. And then Yushin caught that. Yushin never saw the novel The Shack, but she caught that, and she's like, well, but God is a judge. And she was kind of correcting the lady on that. But and then they came to agreement. Yeah, God is a judge. That does make sense. God is.
And if he doesn't punish evil, there's no justice in the land. Go ahead.
Right. I think another highlight was with Jonathan Franco, not really combating people, but he asked the same questions: is God a man? To this one black lady, and they both agreed that God is a man, and then eventually said, it'd be kind of weird if there was like a only begotten daughter, right? And the girl's like, that's really weird.
There you go. It's crazy, man. It's nutbag theology, I tell you. Okay, now let's go to Shigeru Tashiro. Break down some of the King's challenges and also how you experience them. Shigeru Tashiro, go.
Yeah, it was a really interesting experience.
Let the audience know what kind of challenges there were and then reflect on them. Go ahead.
So the first challenge was the pig harvesting. Next challenge was... what was the next challenge?
There's pig harvest, there's the shooting.
Oh yeah,
the guns.
shooting.
There was a bushcrafting part.
Mm-hmm. And then also we did like the trekking. We did jiu-jitsu on the beach with strangers. And jiu-jitsu, like with just a jiu-jitsu tournament. We weren't able to get people to fight us. They were too scared.
They were too scared.
And all of them, like we asked them, like, would you be willing to, do a little friendly spar, but like they're like, oh, we don't want to get hurt, we don't get down and dirty.
A lot of them were tourists from Europe, and they kind of have their clothes, and in Europe they're not really about that self-defense, right?
So you went on the beach, there was nobody there you could find?
No. There's a lot of people, but what ended up happening was we taught some. We taught about I think 4, a little bit more people, the Mataleon, and some other moves. Mm-hmm. So some people were willing to be taught, but not actually, get down dirty.
Okay.
Yeah, we tried.
All right. Now what else? What else? What are some of the alligator? You did do alligator?
Yeah, we ate the alligator meat.
Now what about did you also go scuba diving?
We couldn't do scuba because it was really expensive. It was like more than $100 per person.
That's not that expensive for the experience of scuba.
Yeah.
You guys got to do it at some point, anyways.
We did snorkeling though.
How was that?
That was really awesome. I saw 2 barracudas in the water.
Whoa! You saw 2 barracuda.
Yeah.
Wow! Sweet, man. Sweet.
Yeah, that was really fun.
So, what was the highlights for you, Shigeru Tashiro?
The highlights for me was. It's not really a highlight because I didn't enjoy the experience, but the nightclub. Mm-hmm. We went to the nightclub.
That was one of the King's challenges.
Yeah.
Give some details about the nightclub. What happened there?
Well, for me, I've never been to that kind of.
Now hold on. Explain for those who don't know what the nightclub challenge was. Explain that first, and then explain some of the details. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the nightclub challenge was, we had to go to a nightclub where there's dancing and you're drinking and they're pounding music, and basically we had to observe how people worked in the secular world, how people picked up girls, how the girls pick up guys, why they went to the nightclub.
The free sex culture.
The free sex culture, yeah.
Drugs and culture, those kind of things.
Mm. So yeah, we went. We would hit in Key West. We hit these kind of strips of nightclubs. There's just this one area where it's just full of nightclubs, and so we went in groups. We always kept girls with guys. But we would let the girls, like, we wouldn't associate ourselves with the girls because we wanted the girls to have the experience. But the guys would be in the same bar, like, watching over them to make sure, like, if anything did happen, like, you know, they could step in. So we went into one Irish one, and, like...
You went to Irish nightclub.
An Irish pub.
An Irish pub. An Irish pub.
Yeah.
What is it? What's that Lucky Charms guy say? Clever me timbers. What was it? No, what is it?
Shiver me timbers.
Shiver me timbers.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not.
Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms.
Have me Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
Oh,
For kids. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they had a live band playing, and, like, everybody was just right in front of the stage. And the stage was, like... So when you first came in, there was, like, a seating area, then there was a stage, and there was another seating area at the back. And everybody's just in that crowded area. You couldn't... We tried getting to the back because we wanted to, like, you know, be more in the midst, but it was so hard going through. But anyways, for me, it was such a shock because I've never been in that kind of, like, really deep secular things. I never went to parties or anything like that. So when I went to that, it was such a shock to see people like that.
Mm-hmm.
To see
That's
people
good. That's good. So you demystify it.
Yeah.
It's not a mystical thing that, you know, but you can see the reality of it.
And
Go ahead, speak on that. Go ahead.
Like one time during the night, I saw like these two people who were dancing, like just start kissing. And for me, like it was weird. Like, yeah, you see people like kissing in movies and stuff like that. But when I saw like those people like who were drunk and just like purely into music and kind of such as like start kissing, it's like it brought up this weird emotion. It was like they took something pure and like what's the word? Took something pure.
And of course, it's connected with the free sex culture, drugs, alcohol. Not saying everybody who goes to a nightclub does that, but there's a lot of that going through there. There's drugs, people selling drugs in there too. You may have. Did you see any of that?
I personally didn't see any like.
And that's why your father told us to stay away from drugs, alcohol, those kind of things, because they're connected to a general culture of free sex culture.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't mean that everybody who does that does those things, but the majority of that culture, the powerful vortex spinning cycle of that culture, includes very powerfully drugs, alcohol, etc., free sex, all included.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, because...
What was your experience? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when that happens, usually they lose in touch with their body. Their body takes over.
Right. They become numb. They become numb.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I gotta say, the nightclub experience, I forgot to mention
Did you hear about the Uber story where this drunk prostitute is giving the Uber driver a blowjob in the freaking Uber car, and the Uber driver says, hey, I'm out of here, get me out of here. And he got it on film, and the Uber company only offered him a $10 rebate. But the girl was drunk, she was a hoe, she's a prostitute, but she did it drunk, and when these girls are drunk, then they're doing crazy crap.
Right.
She didn't know what is this stupid driver. She's pulling out his pants trying to suck his wee-wee.
Right.
Ridiculous. You know what kind of AIDS, virus, whatever, it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's amazing to hear that.
Did you see those girls get blasted? Did you see girls get blasted in the bars, all drunked out?
Yeah. I saw a three-way, like, what do you call that, dry hump dance?
Yeah, three-way, grinding.
Grinding, yeah.
You could say grinding, dry hump, same thing. Yeah. With, like, two guys, like, in between one girl. I didn't see it like, when you guys saw it. Yeah. Someone saw it, yeah.
And then you guys were also, after that, you produced a vlog about it? You
produced
a reflection on it.
So people shared their vlogs on it. I gotta say, from my experience of dropping them off, and just kind of...
You must have been nervous dropping them off.
A little bit, you know. But it was kind of weird. It was kind of cute at the same time, seeing them over at the nightclub. We definitely, me and Jamal definitely prepped them.
How did you, as organized, prepare them before you went? Give us a little bit on that.
Well, I had a lot of experience with this, being close myself in college. You know, a guy, I don't drink myself. I don't grind on girls and all that stuff. And I've been in college for 2.5 years. And I've seen it all. So I see the process of how guys approach girls, of how girls approach guys, the music, the dancing, the aesthetics of a place.
Well, the lights.
The lights. Yeah, the flickering lights, right?
It's all to distract you constantly. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it really gets down subconsciously to your animal instincts without even, you know, the people knowing. And sometimes, you know, they get really comfortable. So I and Jamal, we definitely broke it down in the beginning to let people know, don't be mesmerized by this stuff.
That's a good word, isn't it? Mesmerized.
Right.
Because it's got the pulsating music, bzz, 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 right? All that pulsating music.
Exactly.
Plus the lights and all that.
And you know, me and Jamal, we were also very realistic about what you might see. You might see naked women. You might see a naked dude for some stupid reason.
We did actually.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
You did.
See, so you know.
You did. You saw a naked guy.
There's a gay bar, and this guy was standing outside the door of the gay bar with nothing. He was wearing nothing but a bandana around his, you know, junk.
His crotch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no one went in the gay bar, but we came across it.
But Key West is known for gay community, right?
Yeah, there's gay pride flags all over.
There's a big gay community down there.
Right. So we prepped. So we prepped them with kind of understanding with their conscience that if they do catch these things to do their best not to have give and take with it, because it is an attractive thing, you know. So even if we come in here, right, and we're at least able to control our bodies to not, you know, lose our virginity, it could still affect this guy, our brain, you know, and how give and take.
Yes, yes.
Right. So we want people to be conscious of that, to do your best to not have give and take with the images that you may see.
So you guys stood in dominion over it, and you demystify it.
Exactly.
Now when you get married, you can go to a club, dance with your wife. You can go to those places, have a night on the town. Spouses can go do those kind of things, but you don't want to be controlled by that environment,
right?
And you want to stay above what Satan is trying to grab everybody, gravitate them into the drain hole that he's trying to drain them into.
Absolutely.
You know, but it's good because you, as the young people, many of them never saw that kind of environment, but they can see it, demystify it, and then realize they can stand over it.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be a slave to it. Even though, let's say, Shugi took his wife to Florida for a vacation, and they want to go have dinner and then go dancing in a club. But then, you know, they can do that, but they stand above all that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest highlights is for our sisters when they were in the nightclub, and it was at the, we went there twice, by the way. So for the first time, you know, this is new to them for a lot of the young people. So when they were there, they didn't really catch the significance of what the nightclub was able to offer them to see the satanic world. It's a lot of it went over their heads.
It's mesmerizing,
right? Right. So there was this one point. Shigi asked me, you know, and Shigi hasn't gone through this experience. He asked me, "Hey Gideon, there's this guy who touched our sisters, but like in a really friendly way." And I caught that because I know that from, you know, my housemates and my college friends. I said that's a bad thing. They should have told him not to touch them, even though it's friendly. And I explained to them that guy is actually breaking through a layer of your sovereignty.
Exactly.
And
he's trying to move in.
Right, he's moving in. Yeah. And that guy, he like touched 4 sisters and introduced them to his friends. And I said that's called a wingman. That's like the which Jamal says that's the most alpha type of guy to try to get his buddies, you know, with some girls, right? And the sisters, I think
the girls were brain dead about it.
It went over their heads. They didn't understand what was going on, and they didn't realize that their sovereignty was actually being taken away by just being touched.
And then afterwards that happened, you discussed it with them.
Me and Jamal discussed it, and Jamal went really thorough on it. And
very good.
The more thorough that, you know, we got, the sisters were like, I didn't know. Exactly. I didn't know, like, I've been defiled in a way, you know, just, or like I've been taken advantage of, just their faces.
Well, you know, not too true, but you know, they're trying to break through.
Right, yeah.
They're trying to get into you, and
Right.
get to you. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to make sure those boundaries are clear.
Exactly. Right.
That's
right,
good.
right.
That's nice. Very nice.
Yeah. So that was I think that was really helpful for our sisters.
Very good. Well, let's take a short break. We'll be right back after the short break with more on the young people and their incredible journey across the United States, at least to the South. We'll be right back after the short break.
I was lost with a broken heart. You picked me up, now I'm set apart. From the ash I am born again. Forever safe in the Savior's hands. You were more
Car Arms, Magnum Research, and Auto Ordnance. The Car Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. It's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Car Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood. The history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun. To the best in compact concealed carry. Car Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Car Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit car.com today.
And we are back. Welcome back to this Friday, July 28th, 2017, the King's Roar. I'm your host, Hyung Sean Moon, the second king of Cheongguk. Now we are joined with Jamal Johnson, the main spiritual parent of the road trip with the young people and the 20-year-olders. These are actually the three coordinators for education, planning, preparation, and content, etc., all that kind of stuff. You guys worked as a team.
Yeah.
Now, let me go to Jamal. Break down how you saw God work through these young people. Break down some of the challenges they have with Satan and some of the epidemics that you feel that they unlock. Go ahead, Jamal Johnson.
Well, the first thing that pops in my head was one sister who had gotten touched by the guy in the nightclub. That was such
a clever little touch.
Yeah.
They do a little touch.
She went through such a learning moment. Like, she really respected the fact that she's the one that has to take a stand. She realized, I'm the one that has to take a stand. I was just reading her face when I said, you have to say don't touch me. Otherwise you're giving, you're sort of giving permission for the second touch.
Exactly.
You know? And
you used to be a predator.
Yeah, and I told him that too.
You used to like girls a lot and hunt girls a lot.
Yeah.
So you explained that as good.
Yeah. And but that kind of teachable moment where everybody's silent and their jaws are gaping and they're like, and it was real.
Because they experienced it.
Yeah. So I think that's meeting the devil, meeting God. I think when they were out on the beach, the scene of them being on this wet beach after the rain, practicing jiu-jitsu in their
oh wow, that's gonna be an epic scene. You guys got to film that?
Yeah, Mary was filming the whole time.
Okay, good.
So then it started lightning, right? And Shigu comes to me and says, "What are we gonna do about the lightning?" I said, so I was going back
to say, keep training.
I was going back to like get lunch or something like that, and I just said to him, I said, pray not to get struck by lightning. So I hear from Shigeru that they prayed, and there was not one lightning strike after that prayer.
Oh wow.
Yeah. There was no thunder, no
lightning.
Hey,
we gotta see some of those epic scenes, man.
Yeah.
When's that video gonna be coming out?
Marianne said she could have it done maybe by not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
Okay. Now, tell the audience a little bit about some of the content you focus on. You used to OSTV content and or Absolute Sex content. How was the DP lectures during the camping times that you stayed at different national parks across the country? Go ahead.
Well, there was this one lecture where I think it was the act of God. It just started raining. And it caused me to shout louder. And long story short, at the end of the whole piece was about absolute sex. And at the end, I asked someone to pray. And Jonathan Franco, he offered this prayer where it was very repentful and like yearning for Father, yearning to make Father happy, yearning to fulfill the role of blessed child in front of true Father, and take care of the lineage. And he was crying, you know. And as soon as his prayer was done, the sun comes out. I mean, sun came out in a very brilliant way. Yeah. Wow. So I felt that the rain was like saying, no, you can't just talk about this thing. You have to push this thing. You have to
shout it.
Yeah, you have to shout it, you know. So I wound up shouting about how, you know, we came, especially blessed children, from the absolute sex moment. Yeah. And that when Satan says, "Who are you?" the first piece of evidence, you know, exhibit A, the first piece of physical evidence is the physical sex that came under the dominion of God that produced them.
Man!
You know? And if they don't claim that and consciously know it, then when Satan says, well, who the heck are you? Why?
Who birthed you?
Yeah.
I own you.
Yeah, I own you, you know? There's this clip from 87 where Father's talking.
You're my baby.
Yeah, he says, he says, Satan's going to say, I don't have to follow the principle, but you have to still respect me because you're my baby.
Exactly.
And Father said, that's when you have to tell him, no, actually, I'm not of your lineage because of this historical point and that historical. So blessed children actually have to get
evidence of that. That's right.
Touch with the
physical
journey.
Evidence.
Yeah. Right, the journey of their parents is something that they need to fall back on when they're debating with Satan, you know. So it was like that kind of talk, and I had to kind of yell it.
Now, you had your daughters, Shimbok and Kaylin, is that right?
Yeah.
But Caleb was here, right?
Yes.
Okay, so your daughters, Shimbok, Kaylin, they weren't part of the 20-year-old's trip, so to speak,
right?
But they were helping you guys, right?
Mom
and
and
dad. They went mom and dad just to support. How was their experience? Did they also do all the challenges as well?
No, they helped out with jiu-jitsu, and they helped out with cooking and shopping.
Okay. And shopping, okay.
But they did help out with jiu-jitsu.
Okay, good. I see. Very good, very good. And how was their experience? And did you guys, what was their testimony?
Well, they loved getting around to see all these places. I was asking them last night. And
was that the first time you took them all the way down?
Yeah.
First time, right?
Yeah. they thought the Keys was a beautiful place. Kaylin loved palm trees. She's like, I'm gonna miss the palm trees. So it was good.
But it gets over it. Once you live there and you have to live there and you see that every day, you're gonna be craving the cooler weather. You're gonna be craving the different changes of seasons. I don't know how people can live in the one place where they have a mono season. Like they just have like a sunny season, or they just got like a rainy place all the time, like Britain, or they got like, you know, just a cold place all the time. We're blessed, like where this is really Father's seasons in our area is like this latitude, because we get 4 distinct seasons.
Right. Yeah.
We got the beauty of the spring flowers. We got the autumn colors. We got the snow winters. We have the hot summers and the verdant, very green summers. And that change of season is really, it's so enlivening.
Right.
You know what I mean? Those mono seasons really get old. The places where they just have mono season.
Yeah, there was this point where we were talking about original value. I always felt it was kind of glazed over, but we went into it that everything has not animism, but everything has a message and a poetry behind it that God put there. And the principle says if you don't go and find it, then that thing can't fulfill its purpose. So we also discussed what's the original value of the sexual organ. But what's the original value of things like the seasons? You know, what's the original value of the pig they killed? And I thought that.
So how was that? How was it? I saw a little clip of the pig that you guys gutted. How was that? Who was the wimpiest? Who was the Who was did that most?
Some of the
Oh, you don't want to call them out, huh? Some of the girls freaked out?
Yeah, some of the girls were like really kind of...
They are lip Brits freaking out?
Yeah.
But they did push through it and they did do some of it?
Yeah, everybody had to take part in it to complete it.
Good.
Everybody had, actually get down and dirty and
Very
get
good.
down with the pig.
Why is he shut up all of a sudden? Why is he... Is that true or not?
What? No, that's true.
Okay.
There were some sisters who were like, but they were pushed, and I think got easier for them.
But they did. As they went on, they saw that
Exactly.
fear factor and that nasty factor actually just goes away, doesn't it?
Right.
It's just that initial like, oh, nasty. But as you do it, it goes away, and then you have control over it.
Right.
Those emotions fade, right? If we get caught up in the emotion, we got stuck in emotion, we got lost in that emotion, we get pulled off by that emotion. But if we just let it run its course, it fades away and it gets weakened. And then we end up having dominion. So they experienced that too. Now, how was a beach brawl? Now, how you went and challenged people, and you went and tried to get them to fight you, but there were no takers apparently.
You're going to be proud, King Daddy. The one who really broke through at getting people engaged was Shin Paul.
Yeah, Shin Paul got 2 people.
Yeah, because he said
he got them to fight him.
Yeah.
Well, the train.
Oh, the train. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he said you want to learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
He got it. He got movement. He got.
Yeah.
He showing everybody how to get people off their butt. He said, "Hey, do you want to learn jujitsu?" And they were like, "Sure."
Yeah, I talked to him this morning at Hundoke, but he said he had a great time.
Awesome.
And wow, what an epic journey! You guys never forget this, man. I did a trip with Kuk Jin Nim and Young Jin Nim when we were Young Jong Pat. He was 21, so I was 20. That must have been when we were 19 or 20. That age. And we did this trip. We went to New York all the way to Key West. We scuba dive, however, in Key West, which you guys, next time you got to do.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. We got to organize a scuba diving expedition, seriously.
Yeah,
It
I
is
agree.
ridiculous. I mean, the ocean the Father loves so much, you get to see it in its element.
Right.
And I think, I don't know, I'm not a scuba dive buff, but I know that in Key West, we have the best scuba diving that I've done in the U.S. And it's not like I've done everywhere, and I've gone maybe 2 times in the U.S. or something like that. So it's not like I'm an expert. But the place that I've gone in terms of scuba diving, Key West was incredible. Moray eels, huge barracuda, grouper, huge grouper, huge group, massive fish. I'm the size of this table fish, okay? Huge. And then what else? Cuttlefish, that's like jellyfish that change color. And we saw nurse shark. Okay, I saw better shark in Hawaii. I went scuba diving like once in Hawaii. While Father was there, he allowed me to go scuba diving once off the boat. And I saw white tip reef shark. So maybe total in my life I've been scuba diving maybe 3-4 times maybe. But it's unbelievable! Unbelievable!
Oh boy.
Got it.
We got a fundraiser a lot earlier.
Yeah, you guys just got to save up some money because we got to do, of course, the tactical response training with all the young people. We're going to do some tactical training. You guys missed out last week, man. You're going to love it when you get back.
Yeah, we will.
And get back on training. You saw that?
Yeah.
Get back on training again. And then, we have tactical response training probably next year, but also we got to hit scuba diving. We got to hit, I got to take the Queen scuba diving. She got to unlock that evidence. She got to see it. Because unless you see it, you don't know what the heck the Second King talking about. You think I'm a nut talking about scuba diving. No. It's incredible. Incredible down there. It's ridiculous. It's like zero gravity. You can move 360 degrees. You can float upside down. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And you can breathe while you're down.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. Anyways, let's take a short break. We'll be back after this with more on the DP Road Trip. Stay with us.
Magnum Research. And Auto Ordnance, the Car Firearms Group. With a diverse product line that blends American craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology, it's no secret why gun enthusiasts choose Car Firearms Group. From the Desert Eagle and Baby Desert Eagle made famous by Hollywood, the history of the 1911 and the Tommy gun, to the best in compact concealed carry, Car Firearms Group is not only the first name in personal defense, it's a name that has earned the respect of gun enthusiasts around the world. Concealment, innovative technology, value, accuracy, and history. Car Firearms Group. Made in the USA. Visit car.com today.
And we are back. Welcome back to the King's Report. This morning, Friday, July 28th, in our last segment, I'm your host, Hung Jin Sean Moon, the second king of Cheongguk. We're here now with the DP Road Trip participants and organizers. Now, we wanted to hear a little bit of the infighting. That's why we joined you guys on the second day or third day or something like that.
Yeah.
But then we realized, hey, we better not chicken every day because we got to let them simmer a little bit. We got to let them stew a little bit. I can't be like trying to monitor them, helicoptering over them. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Otherwise, it's going to ruin that whole dynamic. They got to simmer and stew a little bit. Tell us a little bit about some of the infighting that was happening, because that happens, and then how that was overcome. Go ahead. Who wants to start that?
I can set the tone.
Don't name any names. Just be general.
Fireside discussion the night you said that. I said, okay, well, let's get in front of it and raise your hand if there's something you're harboring that you can't let go of. And 5 people stepped up and they shared who in the group was irritating them and they couldn't let it go. You know?
Good.
And the other person didn't get to respond.
I see.
And so I was just isolating that when you feel bad, you're the one who feels bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's your feelings. So it was no time spent for rebuttal. It's just pure, like these are my feelings. And when you did this, I felt like that. And the other person go, can I say something? Like, no, it's not about you. It's about the fact that he was keeping his feelings and he wasn't doing anything with it. That's all it's about.
Do nothing about it, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So that was what about you boys? What did you find of that?
It really relieved me because I was one of the 5 people actually that stood up. There's somebody who's just it was hard.
Annoying the crap out of you.
Yeah. But it was nice because it's just like you go through this whole game in your head of should I talk to this person or am I wrong to talk to this person or something, and Jamal just made it easy just say it out, just get rid of it, don't bottle it up. He was talking about how a lot of unificationists use the tactic of passive aggressiveness, which is it's because you're supposed to not be aggressive. You're not supposed to hurt the other person's feelings. It's taboo. It's the 11th commandment. You cannot hurt somebody's feelings.
But it's not really a commandment.
Yeah, it's the fake commandment. If not, you can't hurt people's feelings. But at the same time, you could be right that person acted in an immature way, or it could be you who needs to overcome an immaturity in yourself.
Right.
So it's better just to get it out in the open, solve the problem instead of trying to passively aggressive torture the person because they made you feel this way without them even knowing that they made you feel that way. Which is very kind of crude and slimy way to go about it instead of just confronting the person.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right. So then you did that, and then what did you find?
The person she
well, she? That just
the person.
Just cut down.
Don't worry.
She
The person talked to me, and it was just they just didn't realize that they were having that effect on me, and they were like, they said like, oh, we really I really respect you, and like I'm glad for what you're doing. Like I didn't make you feel that way, but it's like. It's a lot of times just a misunderstanding, like. Sure. But when you hold it personally, when you hold it deep inside you, it becomes like that person's doing it on purpose.
On purpose, you're personalizing it.
Yeah, you're personalizing it.
Exactly, you're personalizing.
And then you build it up in your head.
Now, what about you, Gideon? What did you discover and encounter on the trip about infighting?
It's really funny.
Can you believe it? Sanctuary people sometimes disagree on infight.
Perish the thought. So much disunity.
For me, I'm very comfortable when it comes to fighting about theology, politics, science. Those are things that I feel comfortable about. I'm capable of being a gentleman and not, screwing my head off. But yeah, when it comes to like personal things, that's different.
It gets you emotional?
Huh?
It gets you emotional?
Yeah, it's like I like being a gentleman. I like communicating like a gentleman, but like when it comes to feelings, it's like I never trained this part in my life before, and I'm kind of scared to. It's not like I'm scared to be confronted. I'm just scared how I might not be in control of myself if it like gets down to like my feelings, like my emotions, because I just kind of like bury that, right? So to actually be forced to bring this out, it's like I don't know how to control this animal. It's a little bit different.
And did you do it? You did it?
I'm one of the 5 people. Yeah.
Oh, you were okay. Good.
And I had to be honest.
What did you find after that experience?
Yeah. When I
was it that scary?
The anticipation is the scariest part. Just before you do it, it's like. Because, there's this wonder and just this, I don't know what the result is going to be. And then once you do it, then it's like, okay, it's flowing. And then at some point after it, I knew I had to talk to the person. And Jamal told me, like, yeah, you got to talk to this person, And I'm like, yeah, you're right, I know. And actually this person came up to me and asked for a meeting, which I did. And we did, and we said a lot of things, and we ended up respecting each other. So it's good, yeah. So.
All right, so many things were unlocked during the DP road trip. We're looking forward to the compilation video. Hopefully it's not just pictures, but we can actually see some scenes of what's going on.
It's a man on the street clips too.
It's a man on the street stuff. Good, fantastic. And hopefully we'll be able to show everybody that. Maybe during Sunday service, we'll show that during Sunday service so everybody can enjoy that. Anyways, everybody's back safe. We thank Father for everybody's back safe. Everybody
That's the best thing. Everybody's back safe.
Securely. And everybody has gone through an experience which you'll never lose. And you'll have those epigenetics, at least they've been unlocked. And they've encountered many different challenges that made them uncomfortable, made it difficult. At first they heard it and said, oh my God, I don't know if I'll do that. But they stepped through it, they man and womaned up. And they pushed through and returned home safely. After a nice excursion like that, sometimes you value more the people and community and amazing individuals who are gathering here and the whole culture that is being started with the culture of Cheongguk here when you're away from it. And maybe these guys felt how much they missed training for not doing it for 2 weeks now. All right, everybody, thank you for joining us on Friday, this July 28th on the King's Report. We'll see you tomorrow, 5 a.m. sharp with Tim Elder. Yes. And I will see you on Sunday, on the Sunday service. Back on Monday, 5 a.m. sharp for the King's Report. God bless, Godspeed, and may His kingdom come.
out the whip. Ay, 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 ay. Jumped out the whip. Ay, 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 ay. Then I jumped out the whip. Yeah, jumped out the whip on him. I'm being me, I'm the one and only. Stepping up so clean and the stain on me. Ooh,